Welcome to South Harmon. Huh? Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam, put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
Jesus Christ, that's the first fucking comment I see too.
Mike,
Adam is on time.
do you believe in miracles?
Yes! Oh, welcome back, everybody. Wednesday night AMA. Happy birthday, Eve, America. America. By the way, Adam, did you know Canada Day was on Monday?
Yeah, it came and went, and I had no idea, to be completely honest with you.
Happy belated Canada Day to our brethren enjoying the cold-ish air.
Did you sing the O Canada anthem?
I don't know what the fuck the anthem is.
I just know the O Canada part to start.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
I think there was like a fake jingle, Matt Canada deal with that.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say, I got to see if I can go find it. Pretty awesome.
I had no idea. No fucking clue.
It was just as relevant as the actual Canada birthday, you know?
Let's go, man. Let's go. Oh, by the way, turn monetization on because I'm greedy.
Yeah, we won't.
Hey,
Well,
Expo's coming up. I need that.
here. Let me help you. Let me give you a visual of what we're looking for. Mike didn't just turn it on. He announces it. That is a goated move. I love that.
That's how I roll.
What up,
See
Zach?
them?
What up, everybody?
I gotta pay for them helmets, man. Look,
Dude, by the way, I mean,
this thumb down. This
Mike
one
went
up.
from
Got
having a corner, we'll call it a corner office to make it sound cool, right? The corner view, the new setup, and now it's like, okay, this dude, who is this guy? This guy's like he's like an NFL.
New digs.
He's like an NFL analyst, you know?
New digs.
It's pretty
I got
sweet
drafted.
looking, though. Great setup, man.
Drafted. Oh, buddy. You got any big plans for tomorrow? 4th of July? You gonna shoot off some fireworks at all?
Yeah, we'll do some. I'm be honest with you, I'm definitely planning to sleep in. I didn't sleep at all last night, and I'm like, damn, this is going to be, I'm going to celebrate Independence Day for sure a little bit here. Might be the last time I actually can sleep in. We got my wife has another one on the way here any day now, so we're going to enjoy that one last sleep in, huh?
You are fucked. Talk about adding another player share to your portfolio.
Yeah.
Are you overweight on kids now?
Well, I wasn't going to quite I wasn't going to make it that clean of a comparison, but you're not wrong. It's how the whole theme of the show was started.
How about that fucking transition? Come on.
Oh, it was perfect. I mean, Mike, when you go from, listen, it's all fun when you get to trap them, right? Now it's one-on-one. You're on an island with the kid. Uh-oh. Might get cooked, buddy. Might get cooked.
You get taken, man.
You start seeing those ghosts, like what's his name?
Woo.
What the hell? Why can't I think of the dude's name?
Sam Darnold?
Yeah, thank you, Sam Darnold.
By the way,
Sam Darnold looking to. I took J.J. McCarthy in an underdog draft today, Mike, and they were like, J.J. McCarthy might not even play 6 games, and I'm like, damn, the dude that saw a ghost all that time ago is gonna fucking start for the Vikings all year. Let's go.
J.J. McCarthy's not playing 6 games, huh? Did you bookmark that shit? Little screenshot action?
I mean, it was coming from Andrew, and I know he was being facetious, but he also right now is saying that it's just the camp hype, Mike. Everyone's like, oh, Darnold's gonna play. Well, yeah.
No, he ain't.
He might play some games, but he ain't playing. Mike, you know how many games they're going to have to win for him to play 3/4 of the season? I'm not going to say all of them, but almost all of them. How about all of them, all right?
I was trying to think, how many did Mitch start in the Kenny Pickett year? Was it 6?
How many did he start? Yeah. By the way, I'm getting about a week ago, and included TDK. All right. I mean, I'll tell you what. It's actually I have it up right now. So let's Zach Willard, huh? Here's the question.
7 games. 7 fucking games.
7 games. Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
What's your over-under?
games,
What would you
Mitch
set the over-under for
started.
JJM?
Well, in true, he only actually played in 5, and then Pickett got hurt and was out, 14 and 15? Week 14 and 15,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Right.
So it would have really only been 5. I'll take that as the over-under. 5.5.
Oh, wow. He actually
Game started
did.
by Sam Darnold.
6 days ago. Yeah. Zach, I'll tell you what, buddy. That's even better than this email is better than a super chat. I'll make sure to respond to you. That's got you, buddy. Appreciate the heads up.
What
right.
did he get you?
Oh, he's just
I don't
saying
even know
he's
what the fuck
basically it's like an introduction. Looking for us to look at some of his portfolios. So like not a team review, more like a portfolio review.
Oh, okay.
You're in the right
Hello.
place, my friend.
You are.
Well,
in the right
you
place.
were.
Yeah,
it just wasn't seen. Apologies.
5.5 games. 5.5 games for Darnold. I'll take the under.
Wait, that's what Vegas has it at 5.5.
No, that's
Oh,
just
that's-
what I said it. That's the McNugget.
You're setting it there, and then you're taking. I love that. Set the line and take the under. W. What
don't know
What would
if
you
they
be
got a line on
surprised
Sam
if he?
Darnold.
What would it be a number that he could start Sam Darnold that would you'd be kind of like, damn, that surprises me.
10.
I'm with you. If he started 10, that would be like 9 and 8's like, all right, they split. If he actually starts the majority of games, I'll be surprised.
No fucking chance.
Uh,
Sorry.
I don't want to say no chance, but I want to say like damn near no chance, like 0.0 something.
If Sam Darnold's starting 10 games, J.J. McCarthy must have got hurt.
Damn. 48% Trey Brick Benson and 44% Russell Subway Superstar Wilson. Let's fucking go. Matt Gomes, I'll tell you
We
what.
adding in our own fucking nicknames? Are we just making them up now?
You know, that's like in college, my dude Maksud. You just, you're watching a game and you kind of make up a nickname. You making up a nickname for dudes now? Like, what do we? I mean, I guess you can. I guess it just it fits. But I'll tell you what, Matt. Appreciate the comment. It fits right in. But here, let's start. Let's start. Oh, I thought you were pulling a 60, dude. If you pulled a 66 out, Mike, I'm not gonna lie. I'm fighting for my life over here. But if you pulled a 66 out, I was gonna go get a fucking glass and start drinking with you, buddy. Straight up.
If I put a 66 out, you better chug the bottle.
Oh, Mike, I'm telling you, like if you want to go there, that's what it's. I'm willing to go there with you.
In about a month, there's a chance I might run into your wife and she'd never forgive me. So,
Yeah,
I'd like to live.
Mike, I'll tell you what. My wife and I have been married for a decent amount of time now. She'll forgive you. She'll forgive you.
Speaking of which, by the way, just personal note.
Speaking of which, forgiving me. What do we got?
I got the cruise booked for next year. Got the cruise booked for next year.
Dude, that's crazy. I was we were talking about that. It feels like just a few weeks ago.
So I was gonna throw it out into the ethos. I mean, it is more than a year away because it's not gonna be till mid-July next year. So we just throw it out into the ethos. If you and your wife would like to join me and my wife on an Alaska cruise, if you could find somebody to take 2 small children for an entire week, which would be a tall task, but hey, maybe. Your dad's a G, your mom's a G. Maybe. I'm just throwing it out there.
Listen, you got to throw it out there. You miss all the shots you don't take, right?
And all you need is just the cheapest, most inexpensive room you can find because your boy paid up for the one of only 2 pinnacle suites on that fucking cruise ship. Like,
this is
baller.
This is one of those where like the anticipation is so high, and even then you still like can exceed it. That's pretty awesome.
I'll have to send you the video of the room, but I was watching it and I'm like, I definitely don't fit this style. Okay, there's gonna be some other couple in the other suite on the other side of the ship, right? Who's like Bernard and like Ethel, right? And they're both probably in their late
Ethel.
50s. They've been retired since they were in their 30s because Bernard made a shit ton of money in the stock market or whatever. They're very fancy and bougie. He probably wears fine pressed shirts and suits.
He
she
doesn't
wears
press,
real nice
right.
dresses. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm going to be showing up in like gym shorts like, what up, playa?
Dude.
What's going on? She's probably talking about Bernard. The caviar is too warm.
I don't think we booked the right room.
She's going to be like, Bernard, the caviar is too warm. Maybe we'll read a fine book. And I'll be out there in the fucking hot tub on a private balcony being like, hey, baby, after I finish this beer, can we do butt stuff?
Mike's going to come out of the room just like fresh off AMA, no shirt, just all ready to rock.
I'm here. Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops.
Adam, we appreciate you being live, right? All right, so let's talk about some players that let's just start with Bo for you. Some people that we have a lot. So Bo Nix, Mike. You got a lot of Bo Nix. I think, to be honest with you, we're in so many leagues together that's partly why part of the reason I don't have as much Bo Nix, but I think you're higher. But floor is yours. Talk to us about Bo Nix.
So everybody knows, at least in the Discord, my most hated on quarterback entering the draft cycle. Probably. I thought he was god-awful, and he just checks the ball down all the time. But I'm a man of process, Adam, not player evals. A man of process. You can keep your player evals. Fuck that. When a quarterback goes in
morals
round one,
and process, I
pay attention.
This. Yeah.
I pay attention when a quarterback goes in round one.
I'm with you.
I'm a man of my word. So Bo Nix, Jesus Christ, you could get him in the second round sometimes, 110, 111. And because there were 6 quarterbacks and I just happened to have a fuck ton of picks in my portfolio for this class, leagues with 4, 5, 6 draft picks in the first round in multiple leagues, nobody wanted to pay for them. So what do? I just QB hoard. So Bo Nix becomes part of that quarterback hoard. I'll just gobble them all up. Fuck y'all. You don't get any quarterbacks in this class.
Damn, I actually this is partly of my 18 leagues. I think I'm in 14 or 15 of those with you, but I have one Bo Nix share, buddy. This is
one.
It's yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Where did I not get him in?
Actually, let's see.
What league is it? Am I even in that league?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess maybe you. No, it's shit too. So I think you're in this league.
I'm a super competitive team where I traded away like everything through 2026. So yeah, that's the one I won 2 straight years. We're close. Maybe first and second, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But that was you just made a trade on the trade show recently in that league, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Hit a little bit of a minor reset.
What is your expectation for Bo Nix this season? Like what for all these player shares? Like what is your expectation, or what do you think can happen? And then also, is this having that many shares? Is this a guy you're looking to pivot off of at some point, or like what? How are you approaching it with Bo?
Kenny Pickett, Mac Jones-ish, like rookie year. Where at least next year, I know if I don't like some of the things I see from Bo Nix, he's probably not losing me a ton of value, especially with where I took him, right? It's not like I spent the 105 on fucking Bo Nix. It was a later pick. So in reality, in 2025, which albeit right now kind of looks like a weaker class, Adam, startup-wise, where's Bo Nix go? Like the 7th round, 8th round, 9th round? I don't even fucking know. So much so, Adam put himself on mute. He's like, fuck this. I don't even want to talk about Bo Nix anymore. I'm done with this shit.
Everything I just said was basically saying how much people are fading him, and I didn't even want to let you hear it. So, exactly.
That's good, yeah. I would say he's on the later side, right? And
8th, 9th. I've seen him even go in the 10th, Mike, believe it or not.
I mean, how absolute, like what, he's got to like tear both his knees up and throw like Nathan Peterman interceptions every single game to go lower than that if he's a starting quarterback next year?
So for the record, currently as of today on South Harmon ADP, 811 is the ADP. So like
Jesus Christ.
Mike, I'm telling you, man, it's and understand that 811, right? That basically is where it's settling. That means there's going to be some drafts where people are
Well, let's just talk about this realistically. What quarterbacks are passing him in ADP from his QB 25 price? Is Stafford?
I think Stafford, from a production standpoint, absolutely, but from dynasty like value, hell no. And unless Bo Nix would have to fucking have a dreadful season or something. But
yeah, no, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it reasonably. Bo Nix has a bad year or whatever.
Yeah.
But is he going to be lower than QB 25 this time next year? Stafford, I would say probably not. Michael Penix, I would say yes. I can see a scenario where that happens.
Yeah, I could see Penix going past Bo Nix.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, no. I mean, if there is an old quarterback that could do it, it would be him, but no.
Geno Smith?
You know what, Mike? Geno, I actually think it's a pretty low range of outcomes, but if he was like a top 15 type quarterback this year, I'm curious to see what it would be. I don't think he would pass Bo Nix, but I think he would rise. I don't think he would pass Bo, though.
Fields?
Yeah, but that's
maybe?
if he takes the job and Russ is gone, yeah.
Daniel Jones? Derek Carr?
Daniel Jones, maybe. I don't think with I think the I could be so wrong, Mike. I feel like the Derek Carr days of dynasty value are all right.
Russ.
R.I.P. Russ, not in dynasty value. No.
Okay.
People hate people really hate Russ now. He might be the most hated of all of them.
Those are your starting quarterbacks, right? Like, even if he had a couple pass him, he's 28th now. Fuck. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think
he's not losing a whole lot of value, really. So, I mean, he's a safe pick because he's starting. He's going to have some games, a couple at least, you would think. He's probably also going to have some bad games. But it's a real, it's investing in a bond, Adam. That's what it is. It's one of them bonds your grandma gave you when you were a kid.
Damn.
And when I cash out Bo Nix, he might be worth 25 cents more than what my grandma paid for the bond.
You know what's funny? What's funny about that is timing of that. Like, if you told me that it's a bond, Mike, 10 years ago, before I was able to actually get any of the cash out, I'd be like, fuck that. Now I've actually had a chance. Like, oh, all right, this random money is just okay. I like this little bond. I kind of like this little bond.
Yeah, so that's probably the best outlook for.
What is? Let me ask you this: what is like the rosiest of rosy? Like, what is the?
Ooh.
What is? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what does he have to do to prove to the community that there's upside? That I think is the thing for Bo Nix that I'm curious to see how it plays out if he plays well. It feels like because he's going so low, this is to me, Mike. I don't even think Kenny Pickett was going this late relative to the quarterback field. It feels like the community is telling you that they absolutely despise this player.
I would say if he had kind of like a Mac Jones rookie year. Mac Jones was very, very efficient. Made the Pro Bowl for whatever.
He had a good year. He did.
Made the Pro Bowl for whatever the fuck that was worth. So you could see him do a gritty. He's more mobile than Mac Jones. So maybe he finishes with 250 yards rushing and a couple touchdowns on the ground. And he throws Mac Jones threw for 3,800 yards. Let's just say Bo Nix throws for 35 and 25 touchdowns, 10 picks. And he adds a couple hundred yards on the ground and a couple touchdowns, and he's somewhere in that, back-end QB2 range-ish.
Yeah.
23, 24, 25. You could see Bo Nix, maybe people really start buying in, especially if they do something in the offseason, do the draft, free agency, whatever, and they bring him in like a true number one weapon with whatever the hell he was working with this year. You might see Bo Nix kind of pushed up into that 5th round startup ADP kind of range. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's a good season from him.
For sure. I think the one thing that as we're getting really ready for the start of this year and you start really focusing on, all the coaching staffs and getting prep for the season, because right now there's nothing else to do. Mike, I'm looking and I'm like, damn. Right now in drafts, Cortland Sutton is the number 1 in Denver, coming off absolutely way late. And if you think about the narrative of if he ends up let's call it thriving to a degree relative to draft, where he's being drafted, with Cortland Sutton, who at this point he wasn't even a top 30 receiver, Mike, with 10 touchdowns last year. Troy Franklin, day 3 pick, Marvin Mims, who couldn't get on the field. If he thrives with that group, that I think would be that I think is something that I haven't thought about with the cast of characters around him. That'd be damn. Bo Nix actually did pretty well given the situation. You could almost guarantee you'd be projecting some sort of improvement in the weaponry the following year.
It'll be a lot of the same feelings I had about Mac Jones after his rookie year, because Mac Jones thrived with nobody. Now,
that's actually a good point.
Nobody foresaw that the hoodie was going to decide, hey, you know what we need to run our offense?
A Zappy.
Defensive coordinator and a fucking special teams coach. They're going to be in charge of the offense.
Yikes.
Two guys who have never fucking touched an offensive playbook in their lives. Let's fucking go.
Before we lose any people that might have thought this was fun, let's talk about Jayden, huh?
All right.
I know that's
exciting.
As if we didn't just have a video come out, but let's double count it, man. You got me hype on Jayden. I will admit I have more than Bo, but it's not by much, dude. You got so many shares of these two players that it's impossible. I got 2 shares. It's crazy. It's awful.
Well, I was also very bullish on taking Jayden Daniels at the 101 when a lot of people weren't really on board, right?
That's true.
Caleb or Marv.
How many drafts did you actually take him with money on the line at the 101?
Ooh, I couldn't tell you, man. It was a lot, though. It was a lot.
I remember being in a handful.
Probably, I got 12 shares. If I said probably 7 of them, I might have took him at the 101. It's probably pretty accurate.
Boy is invested, but I think the upside. I feel like at this point where he's being drafted, people definitely taking him in the 3rd round of startups. As early as he's gone, you have to understand the upside there. Maybe they don't quite see how high the upside is, but I think people do understand that he's a rushing. There's a potential for him to be a rushing cheat code.
I went into that video today really thinking that, man, when I was doing the research on it, Adam, like what do these mobile rookie quarterbacks do in their rookie year? I thought I'd have a lot more woofs, and really the only one that I came away with was like, God damn, Justin Fields really was fucking ass in his rookie year. Even though he ran for a lot of yards, he was so fucking terrible throwing the football that stink stayed with him forever. So even in the second year when he turned it around and put up all those rushing yards and actually looked somewhat competent throwing the football, even last year when he turned it around, that's a common theme here.
Yeah.
Justin Fields sucking and then turning it around. But he's the only one in his rookie year during the starts where you're like, all right, 12.6 fantasy points per game or whatever the fuck it was. That doesn't get me excited. Everybody else, like even fucking Trey Lance, who we think did nothing in his rookie year, in the games he started when Jimmy was hurt and then at the end of the season, you're like, you could see it in those games, right? Like, these guys just come out and these mobile quarterbacks, they just shit 18 fantasy points plus per game in their starts in their rookie year. And if we got a guy, unlike a lot of these ones that I was going through and listing off that, had incumbents, they had, that kind of bridge quarterback. Jayden Daniels is starting fucking week 1, boys and girls. And if we can kind of expect somewhere around 18 fantasy points per game, holy Santa Claus shit, why the fuck are we valuing him outside the top 12 sometimes? This is insane to me.
Yeah, Mike, I think it's going to be. I'm extremely intrigued. Let's just say to watch the Commanders, which, like, I enjoyed watching a little bit of Sam Howell last year. But I'm going to tell you, this is the first time that I've actually I'm really excited to watch them play in a long time. So I think there's a range of outcomes that are pretty wide because I'm a little worried about the offensive line that he has. Now, I think there's also the case you could make that could end up leading him into more rushing. But that's probably one of my bigger concerns for this particular season is how do they fare in giving him time. But that's the negative. I think the upside to me, Mike, you laid out the case today on that video. I think I could see him. You said top 8. I could see him probably being in the top 5 for real this year if he hit like his peak.
The offensive line was really, really bad last year. It really was.
Yeah,
it was bad. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit, but we kind of just assume it's the exact same because we didn't see any big splash moves, right? They didn't go out and sign like some super top free agent. They obviously didn't draft a guy very, very high in the NFL draft, but they added some pieces to it. That, I mean, for those of you who follow offensive line, like D-Gens, which I kind of do because I'm a fat guy and I love other fat guys and I love offensive linemen. They signed some solid rotational type guys, like some solid fits, and I've seen this work before where it's like it's kind of uninspiring going into the season, and then you find out these guys who were a good rotational lineman on a previous team were just behind some really good fucking offensive linemen they couldn't get in front of. And now that they're playing a full snap share, they're getting more comfortable in their spot. You're like, hey, this motherfucker's pretty solid. Like, he's all right. So Cornelius Lucas, Fizz will know that whatever Fizzle thinks about this guy, it'd be interesting to think. But they signed Tyler Biotish, former Cowboys center, and they signed Nick Allegretti from Kansas City. So they brought in some pieces. At least the linemen they brought in aren't dudes where I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Or if
Who
it's
the
a guy
fuck is that guy?
or it's not a guy that I know because he's fucking trash and like a turnstile. You know what I mean? Like, it's better to be kind of a little bit under the radar than it is to be infamous. You don't want to be infamous at offensive lineman. You don't want to be pretty much everybody that plays on the Giants' offensive line. You don't want to be that. But
Yeah.
to bring in some solid guys, at least it's a little bit better. I think we can all agree. Sam Howell versus Jayden Daniels behind a suspect offensive line. Give me fucking Jayden Daniels 10 days out of a 7-day work weekend. I want Jayden Daniels. That's a guy I trust a lot more to escape fucking pressure and create and kind of nullify the pass rush some because, listen, you can't just fucking pin your ears back on a pocket passer because Jayden Daniels ain't that dude. If you do, you get out of your rush lanes, fucking see ya. Good night. Highlight reel. So that's going to play into it a little bit. So it's going to slow down defense's pass rush, which is why I kind of cited in the video. I know it's the dead period where we just have conjecture all over the fucking place, but some people are saying they're pretty fucking scared of what Jayden Daniels can do in Washington. Scared in a good way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you don't acknowledge the upside to a degree, I feel like you're kind of just trying to hate. I get it though. People do lean into hating. Mike's not, subject to being on the other end of that.
Yes.
Mike, I wasn't going to do this, but Fizzle's got me feeling like I want to. Let's see if it works.
Oh, you got it. You did. Oh, we even got a little sound effect, a little wing flapping.
What do you think, buddy?
Is he back?
I'm asking. I'm asking, buddy. I am asking. That's what I'm asking you. No?
He's not back.
You're not buying in? No. Mike, I'll tell you this. Go ahead.
It's tight ends. It's a tight end position. I fucking hate him as a whole, so I'll buy back in when he actually does it. How about that?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I was looking. So I did a 2-part series like covering my player shares. Like Kyle Pitts was one that I can just straight up admit as I like look back at this. He is the reason I have 7 shares is sunk cost fallacy, and there's just no other way to put it. Like I just couldn't get myself on some of those teams to be like, yeah, I'm gonna bite the fucking bullet here. And it probably would have been the correct play, especially knowing that he plays the tight end position. But Mike, I'll tell you one thing about it is I'm curious to see how it plays out. Now, I know there's certain leagues that who I'm playing with, there's no fucking sell window, so I just gotta hope that he ends up being the unicorn. But I'm looking to sell off of one of these weeks with Cousins, hopefully 2 of the weeks. Like here, he's not the old Kyle Pitts, but that we had in the first round. But maybe he's close. Here, come on. I need to sell. I like Pitts. I think he actually could be. I don't think he's the cheat code that we were once dreaming of, but I think he could be a positional difference maker. I don't want to have 7 shares, to be honest with you. In my 18 leagues, I don't.
I have 5 over 48,
Yeah,
9 leagues, whatever it is, 10%.
Yeah, that's pretty low exposure though. That's probably if I got mine down to 4, 3, I'd feel great.
You get down in that range, like right around 10%. Like, I'm okay fucking around and finding out if Fizzle's right and Kyle Pitts is back and we can put the unicorn thing back up. Like, if you want Kyle Pitts off of my team, come fucking get him. Now, obviously, though, if you're like, man, Kyle Pitts is Dynasty tight end 1. If you want to pay me Dynasty tight end 1 prices, by all means, you can have all 5 fucking shares of Kyle Pitts I have.
You know what's
so I play it.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting about this is like try to take the time machine back when the peak the hype was at an all-time peak. Remember, it's like there's no tight end prospects coming out that are anywhere near Pitts. Well, right or wrong, guess what? Kincaid's going to have some games and people are going to go, he's to the moon. Laporta already is outrageous last year. Unless he really disappoints this year, it feels like people are going to view his value going up. There's all these young tight ends that I feel like muddle it for him even if he plays well.
One thing I think people always forget too, I don't care how athletic you are at the tight end position. If you can't do the basic things like I do.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm just talking like if you can't do the basic thing, like be that extra offensive lineman sometimes and be a plus in the blocking game, which Kyle Pitts has yet to establish he is. So I just saw it from Fizz, the T.J. Hawkinson comp. Here's the thing. It's not a hot take for me to say when T.J. Hawkinson's fully healthy, he's a better tight end than Kyle Pitts is.
All around tight end, it's not even a debate.
Not even close.
Kyle Pitts, I would argue, like from an NFL perspective, I don't even know that he counts as a tight end, frankly.
Correct, and that is part of the problem that I have, right? So if you put a tight end out in, let's say, the slot, or you split them out wide, right?
Yeah.
It allows the defense to either A, put a corner on them, a physical corner, or put a cover safety on them. It really does. If you're a good blocker and you're lining up in line all the time, like you can split out in the slot and you can flex out, right? You can create mismatches or whatever. Good offense coordinators will figure that shit out, but just think about it from the basic of a football perspective, Adam. If I have a tight end that I have to cover that's in line and I'm a nickel or I'm a safety, and I have to line up in the fucking box, I have to do something that I'm not good at as a football player, which is why I'm a coverage safety or a nickel corner, which they don't do. Usually those tight ends who line up in line are getting covered by fucking linebackers, where if they're more athletic, they're faster, they're quicker, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. Matched up versus a fucking linebacker, I don't care who the linebacker is, that's a much better matchup than being matched up against a nickel corner or a fucking safety. So a guy like Kyle Pitts, where you almost exclusively have to play him kind of in this flexed out role and like you said, kind of more as a wide receiver versus a tight end, is at a disadvantage to a guy like T.J. Hawkinson or George Kittle or Travis Kelce, etc., who can line up in line, get their ass on a linebacker where they can go out and absolutely dominate them. The defenses have a tougher time trying to match people up to cover those guys who also can play in line. Kyle Pitts really can't at this point. He needs to get his ass on the fucking blocking sled and figure some shit out.
Well, I'm actually curious to see if there's any development there. I don't expect him ever to be a plus blocker, let's just be honest, like at all. Now,
he's got the size and physical skills to do it. It's just
he does, but it's like I still feel like his build is really not going to make him a strong. I think he could be a willing blocker. I don't think he's ever going to be someone like T.J. Hawkinson though, or George Kittle, which can fucking just own you. Now, I guess my point though is that the interesting part about Kyle Pitts still is that to that point I agree with you, but we've only ever seen Arthur Smith fucking use this guy.
That's true.
So who knows who knows what could become of that. I think ideally they're probably still going to put him in the slot a lot. I think that's how you get the guy the ball in space. But Mike, 47% of his snaps last year were in the slot. Like
that's a lot.
That's a tight end. That's almost. It's interesting because he hasn't done well, so the conversation went away. But remember early on, it's like, are they going to try to change his category, like not let him be a tight end? He really doesn't play like a tight end.
And you're being generous. Like, it's 47.8. You could have just rounded that shit up to 48.
Every other snap,
50.
he's fucking in the
50.
slot. Right. 50. All right.
50.
Fizzle got us a little on this one, but I'm going to tell you. So I also have 7 shares of Rome, Mike. Curious your thoughts here. I think this is where the way that we were drafting at the time and the fact that you and I had, just a lot of picks in these ranges. It was like I'm getting, if I could, one of Rome or Malik, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to take all the rest of the quarterbacks too, which is kind of, I think, what the the player shares, just coming off the Snapshare discussion, player shares are, like, I'm pretty excited about having 7 shares of Rome at the cost I got him. Looking back now, the big elephant in the room will be, the quarterbacks that I took him ahead of, what their fucking career becomes, and if they hit, like, let's call it what it is. If they actually smash, they become difference-making quarterbacks. Like, even if Rome is great, they could go higher than him. That's just the position they play. But
they could.
I'm excited to see what Rome can offer. I think the only reason I got him at a discount relative to neighbors, though, was because the impatience of a 32-year-old Keenan Allen presence, man. Like, that's at least to me what it is. It's kind of wild to think about.
So let me start this by saying Rome was the most attainable of the big 3 wide receivers in this class.
I got him at the 108 and 107 in drafts, bro.
Yeah. And definitely one of my favorites. And I am high on Rome And I say all that to say I have one fucking share of Rome. And Adam, it's to your original point. When I'm in drafts, there was people who were taking wide receivers, and all of a sudden all these quarterbacks are here, and it's me, and I stay true to my fucking nature, and I said, well, fuck y'all. You guys want to take all these wide receivers? I'll take every goddamn quarterback from you.
And nature versus nurture, nature wins every time.
Correct. And I won't have a lot of Rome, but maybe I can leverage one of these quarterbacks into something very similar to Rome and a plus. So I love Rome. All this Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, I'm going to say it, man, bullshit that people are spewing. You don't fucking know. You don't know. You don't know who the number one wide receiver on the Chicago Bears is going to be.
Well, yeah.
Period. So shut the fuck up about it. Right. Nobody knows. You know who knows? Caleb fucking Williams.
Well, Caleb Williams will eventually know, and we will all know at that point. Now, I think also the thing is, to me, Mike, if you tell me he's the wide receiver 3 this year, I can see it. To your point, I think there's a range of outcomes, but that's a short-lived thing, like in Dynasty.
Yes.
This is a top 10 drafted receiver that's immensely talented, has size that most of these receivers don't. 6'3", 215, moves like that. Attached to the number 1 overall pick in the same class, it's like 108. I mean, like anywhere basically at 106, I was like, I remember being a couple times really torn on there was 2 teams where I'm like, I had 2-3 quarterbacks that I felt like I would like to address the quarterback room, and I'm like, damn, if I pass on Rome though, and I fucking whiff on these quarterbacks, I have a lot of dead shares of quarterbacks in my teams that I have right now, like some, I never cleaned up on aisle 5 types. The Pickett's, the Trey Lances. I mean, it's bad, right? I'm like, all right, and outside of a couple times, it made me just go with Rome, and we'll see. But I'm excited. I think he's tremendously talented. I'm excited for him.
He is, and I'll say this lastly about Rome, Adam. You got him at a fucking discount. You did, and a lot of people, at least in redraft wise. Like, I see the rankings come out in ADPs for underdog and all this shit, and they rank it DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome, Odunze without even a fucking hesitation. And I'm here to tell you that it's very fucking easy for that thing to get fucking flipped by the end of the year. And it's Rome, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. And as much as you and I have been fans on DJ Moore for the longest time, listen, just looking at this from a fucking normal standpoint and trying to be very coherent about how I address the situation.
Mike acknowledging trying to be coherent about something is like, everybody pay attention to this, okay?
Keenan Allen is an elite separator even at his age.
Yep.
Rookie quarterbacks love to throw to guys
in the
who
slot,
are wide open
safety valve. I made the same point today. Damn, I love this.
Rome Odunze has this whole aura of going that he's riding the same fucking plane at the draft as Caleb Williams. Him and Caleb seem to hit it off as best friends. You don't think that fucking matters? Right? It mattered to everybody when they were trying to hype up Darius Slayton in Daniel Jones's rookie year. Like, oh, they came in, they like each other, they spent all this time together. Why the fuck aren't we doing it for the number 1 and number 9 overall pick, who obviously have shown that they like each other? So maybe it's DJ Moore is the dude left out in the fucking cold, but nobody really wants to acknowledge that because it just doesn't feel good to them, I guess. Fuck
well,
y'all.
Mike, it finally happened.
Number 1.
Mike, it finally happened. They finally got to have like their really cool DJ Moore year.
It was fun.
You think they're ready to give it up?
No.
You know how long they waited for this?
That's true.
Mike, they waited. It felt like they waited centuries for this. Mike, I think the thing for me about Keenan Allen, I think there's if Keenan Allen is healthy all season, I think that's first of all what I'm going to talk about, the if. But this guy led the NFL in targets per game. It wouldn't shock me if he made Rome Odunze's targets lower than we would love to see in majority of the year. But let's even say that's the case for 8, 10, 12 weeks. Playing up north, a guy 32 years at Mike, I think, is one thing. This is a guy that has injury history, and it's one of those times when even if you look right, you just break down, and you start breaking down. And that was actually the year where Julio looked like a specimen that could never be, like, he looked like he was going to be God. Like, he's just going to age gracefully for all time. He's just keep limping, but he'll keep playing great. And all of a sudden, it's over.
It's done. He's done.
Keenan Allen missed time last year. He's missed a lot of time. Like, Father Time could eventually be this year. And then guess what? You faded Rome in Dynasty. It's not like you just did it in your little underdog draft or redraft, right? Like, you faded him in Dynasty? Oh, buddy. That's a tough pill to swallow.
What'd you do? All right, we got a super chat. My bad. And it's from Canada. I wish Canada a happy belated Canada Day. So we'll celebrate it tonight on Wednesday, 2 days late.
Mixing it up is mixing up he's like, listen, you guys are doing a great job with your player shares, but listen, let's bring it on me here, okay? I think it's a good question, though. Where are you guys at with Flowers? I'll let you start, Mike. I got some thoughts.
I was, let's just say, concerned a little bit heading into the offseason cycle with Zay Flowers.
In what way?
Obviously, I was concerned because I was like, man, what if they bring in a Odunze? What if they bring in another pass-catching weapon that kind of eats into it? Now with a full Mark Andrews being fully healthy for the full season. Zay Flowers was really nice in his rookie year, but I was like, man, maybe we're getting a little bit over his skis. And then one fucking person in the fantasy community absolutely ruined it for me as far as how much I love Zay Flowers now. Like how much I'm in on Zay Flowers. And it's that goddamn Matt Harmon. Matt Harmon just fucking comes in and he's like, by the way, Zay Flowers is that dude.
Zay Flowers.
Is that dude.
Elite.
And I'm like, God damn it, Matt. I was trying to be pragmatic here. Ooh, I like that word, pragmatic. I actually got to use it for once.
Look at this guy. Pragmatic.
He's
trying to be coherent. Like, this is are we getting speaking of aging, are we getting an aged McNutted? All right.
We're only halfway through this. Once we get 3/4, we're fucked. But when Matt Harmon comes in with his love of Zay Flowers, I'm like, God damn it, I'm back in. I got his fucking mini helmet up there for a reason. I'm going to probably end up like doing stupid shit for Zay Flowers, I think, because they brought nobody in. People are trying to hype up Rashad Bateman. We've been there. We've seen it. It's been nice to know you. Like, what else besides Mark Andrews? What the fuck else am I worried about in this offense? Nothing. And Lamar Jackson showed last year he can progress as a passer. He can make those throws where if his name was Lamar Mahomes, people would be playing it on fucking highlight reels on the rib. Like, this dude is nuts. And Lamar started to do that shit last year, and nobody really wanted to acknowledge it. We even had people being like, oh, he's a fake MVP, yada, yada, yada. Lamar Jackson is that fucking dude, and his number one wide receiver, let me just say wide receiver, is Zay Flowers. Now, Mark Andrews can only do so much from the tight end position. There's going to be a lot of work for Zay Flowers. And why do we knock a fucking guy who came out and surprised us with how well he did in his rookie year? Matt Harmon's in on him. Fuck it, Adam, I'm in on Zay Flowers. Let's fucking push him up. I don't even know where he's at, but he's not high enough, probably. Final answer. Get more.
I like it. Well, I guess here's the question some of the questions that I have, and I'm curious your takes on this. Zay Flowers was, I think, how do you phrase this? He was a target hog, really, for this offense. I think his volume was really safe for the most part. He was a guy playing on all the snaps. My question, I think, with Zay is this: does he carry the elite upside? Not that he isn't going to be a guy that's going to give you really good production. This guy that Mike in the regular season only had one game over 100 yards with all the targets.
Okay.
Like that's my concern with him is I actually think it's there. I think the range of outcomes is there for him to be elite, but right now I feel like at least for me, that's the burning question. Like, if you told me that he's going to start getting either deeper targets downfield or, breaking some long ones, I'd be like, all right, man, I'm way too low on Zay Flowers. I need to fucking go. Let's get this guy to the moon. That's my question, because right now when I look at it from a ranking perspective or dynasty value, I feel like he's right on that teetering spot where at this price, like I want to know that he has a little more upside, because a lot of the players in this range, they have that fucking upside. DK, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Nico Collins. Like, that's my question. And I don't know that we're going to get an answer until it's on the field, but I'm curious your thoughts on that perspective of it.
So here's my counterpoint, right? The way he was used last year with his yardage, right? Yes, I'm with you. Like, you look at it and you go, man, he only eclipsed it 100 yards one time, etc. He was one of the lowest in ADOT, and he did get force-fed targets, which made him have like a pretty high ceiling, but they were short. I wouldn't even call them intermediate targets. The one thing that Matt Harmon like posted about him that got me jazzed for it was, if I go back and look at Jalen Waddle's rookie year, very kind of similar. A lot of underneath shit, fed a lot of targets. Is he a fake alpha? Now, where we're at now with Jalen Waddle has nothing to do with actual Jalen Waddle's talent, Adam. I think it has to do with the fact that Tyreek Hill's there.
It has to do. It's not his talent. It's that there's a ridiculous talent there, right?
Yeah, there's another ridiculous talent on the opposite. Zay Flowers doesn't have to deal with that. Matt Harmon, when he posted it, his graph about Zay Flowers, when he did run routes down the field, your posts, your 9 routes, your flag routes, etc. Zay Flowers is a fucking green monster on Matt Harmon's charting.
Sure.
So if you do this kind of correlation where Jalen Waddle took that step forward in the second year and started getting used more downfield, and then you kind of saw that, oh shit, all right, Waddle's not just this fucking Jarvis Landry clone. He can be used downfield. That's where I get excited about Zay Flowers, because if he takes that step forward, he's a very good wide receiver 2 now in fantasy football. But if he starts getting used downfield at better than the 81st best ADOT that he boasted last year in his rookie year, and he's more comfortable going downfield, he's shown he can win down there. He can win downfield. He can make corners look fucking stupid downfield. And if Lamar Jackson's ability to kind of move around in the pocket and make some deep plays, we might have that like Hollywood Brown breakout from Zay Flowers that we were always wanting. That we were always like, oh shit. Now, is he going to be this big fucking super consistent Devontae Adams type, just commanding targets all over the place and an absolute red zone touchdown monster? No.
Those don't grow on trees, guys. Sorry.
Those don't grow on fucking trees. But can he be knocking on the door of wide receiver 1 territory in his sophomore year? I say yes.
Okay.
It is wide receiver 2 price right now makes that an attractive gamble.
I'll just give you by the way, I'm not saying for sure that he's doesn't have that in the range of outcomes. I'm just saying, for me, that's where my pause comes in when you start getting to the names that are there. Also, there's 2 other quick things I wanted to touch on. Route participation, 100%. That's number 1 in the NFL. You can't go higher. Right? Now, this is the other thing I ask, because I think for me to – all right, let me just give the rankings again. So, Mike, let me just ask you as we go down this list. Devontae Smith or Zay Flowers? That's Smitty for you, correct? Oh, push. Wow. Okay. He's been.
Can I take a push?
He's been converted for sure. This is a new Mike that I don't know. All right.
The thing that keeps me, listen, if I hadn't read this about 2-3 weeks ago about how Kellen Moore used Keenan Allen last year, where we just talked about Keenan Allen and how many fucking targets he had and the whole thing. If I hadn't read that and it clicked, I would say Zay Flowers. I honestly would say Zay Flowers. But this Devontae Smith like being Keenan Allen in the Eagles offense with Kellen Moore is like, motherfucker, I can see it too, because they're like the same dude.
I'm glad you're staying true to trying to be coherent. Good. Okay. Nico Collins.
Oh, Zay Flowers.
Okay. Wow. The how about Pittman? I know you're very high on Pittman though.
Pittman.
DK.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
I'm gonna get you all the way there, and it's gonna. I'm telling you, it's not an. Keep going. Let's keep going. Let me just.
Zay. Give me Zay.
Oh my god.
Give me Zay. Just
with the offense about to get wildly opened
up.
Just
give me fucking
family.
Zay.
Okay. And then we're at Zay for the record. Okay. Now.
So that wasn't very far.
No, but this is my last thing. Does he have that like more yardage upside use downfield? But then also, this is a guy that I don't think through any fault of his own. But like, do I expect one of the things I think in fantasy when I'm starting to get to that elite range, the wide receiver 1 type, this guy's going to just have to have touchdowns. Like at 5'9", 182, do I think that this guy is going to also give you high range of outcomes on touchdowns? I think he could give you more than I think people give him credit for. I don't want to act like he can't get you touchdowns. I'm curious to see, though. I guess for me, when I'm at this price point where it's like, dude, DK Metcalf or him, like I struggle to put him any higher than he is, which makes me feel like I like him, but I need to see a lot more for me to be like, fuck, this is to the moon. Now, to the point you're making, if that happens, I'm going to probably end up not being able to get him then. But that's where my concerns kind of lie, those two things.
Listen, Zay Flowers, Steve Smith reincarnated. The Carolina Steve Smith, too, not the Giants Steve Smith.
If that's the case, we're all fucked, unless you have immense Zay Flowers.
Ice up, son.
Damn. And if he ended up being that type of like charisma player too, oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Please, I hope he starts coming out and talking just mad shit this year. Please, Zay.
That would be insane. All right. Blind is not blind for the record. We found on Fizzle Friday. Is having a third quarterback important at all in Superflex if you have two top 10 quarterbacks?
Lineup leagues, no. Best ball, yes. How's that for
I'm glad to hear you say that. Dude, the coherent mic might be... I'm glad to hear you say that in lineup. Not that I wouldn't like to if I could have a quarterback 3, but if I have the two top 10 ones, I'm just kind of... I know that there's going to be a fall off if one of them get hurt or something happens anyway. Yeah. And I'm okay patchworking together.
In lineup leagues, I would probably just roster a bunch of these. Like
all the fuckos.
Give me a dude who... maybe some dude who might start a fucking game, right?
Give me Sam Howell.
QB2 on a depth chart. Fucking Sam Howell, Drew Lock, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew. I mean, fucking just list them off, man. Marcus Mariota in case Jayden Daniels happen to go down for a game or two. Like, that kind of shit, man. Give me a QB2 and just have, like, lineup leagues. Fuck, I'll roster 4, 5, 6 of them. Whatever. And constantly keep churning this shit off the waiver wire. Best ball, you need a third quarterback. You do. Yeah. Because even top 10 quarterbacks have fucking bad weeks where they finish out of the top 2 quarterbacks, and I want that ability to... Oh, look at that. That dude made my lineup. Fucking Jared Goff's in. While Patrick Mahomes is off in fucko land.
I feel like, with... We got, Mike, it is, for the record, all right? It's July 4th, basically, here in a second, right? We are as far away from really any football relevance as fucking possible. We're close to that.
Even the UFL's over.
Like I'm telling you, I am just. It doesn't matter what type of offer I send out. I'm just talking to myself with these. It's either rejected or it just sits. Mike, we got 135 people in here. The point I'm making is that it feels like there's so many people that are focused on trying to make their teams better and improve, and there's a lot of tools that are helping gamers get, I think, more advanced. Whether that's right or wrong, we'll find out. But the reason I say that is I think some of the edges are going to be stuff like this, where if you have two top 10 quarterbacks in a lineup league, I think the edge is going to be being not breaking that and having, not using some of your basically value in a guy that realistically isn't going to give you that upside, even if you have to rely on him anyway. Like basically being really efficient with the way that you not just have roster construction, but the way you're building the players in your roster construction. If you have two top 10 quarterbacks, it's those guys to the moon, or you're going to have a fall off if one of them gets hurt. And then at that point, you just figure that out. But like saying you have to have a, I don't know, what's a middling type quarterback that's going to kind of cost you a lot of value?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker type, yeah. God, if you had Goff or something like that, it's like, right. Why, dude? Why? It's you can basically, if you move that asset and use it in a different way for your lineup, it's going to be a lot better for your team in upside, right? So that's, I think, the big thing for me.
Yeah. Yep.
I hope that helps you,
be
Blind.
Fine. Lineup league, you'll be fine. Just roster a bunch of turd burgers.
Yeah. Give me
best ball league, though. Best ball league, I will say, if this happens to be a best ball league blind, I would actively explore trying to get a quarterback on my roster as my QB3. And I would even go the cheap route. Like, fuck, what does Aiden O'Connell cost? What does Derek Carr or Daniel Jones or Geno Smith or some fucking shitter like that? What did they actually cost? And go see if you can get them on there. But lineup league, if this is how your roster constructed, fuck it. You're good, buddy.
No, yeah. Best ball, totally different animal. Like, you could... Mike, you give me a third top 10 quarterback, and I'm pretty happy. It's different.
Fuck y'all. Good luck to everybody. I'm never having a bad quarterback week. At my QB spot or my super flex, y'all can kick rocks.
Yep. Now, if I had 3 top 10 quarterbacks in lineup, I'm trying to act like I'm not loving it because I want I need someone to pay up, but I don't want to hold that for the entire season.
I kind of have that problem.
Yeah, I can kind of imagine based on.
I got one team that still has that kind of problem, and I don't know what to do. I'm like stuck.
I don't know what to do with my head. Well, you got to wait. Mike, I think what you got to do is be flexible to move any one of the 3 at the right time.
Yeah.
You get it done. What was I? Dang, we were on to something really good. By the way, Blind, keep super chats coming. I'm just trying to remember what the hell I was saying.
Well, we were finishing up player shares. Who else made the thumbnail there that we need to talk about? We talked about Bo Nix. We talked about Jayden Daniels. We talked about Odunze.
Noah Fant. It needs a segment, buddy.
Noah Fant.
Huh? We scoured the internet for a image that was decent size.
One of them is this?
It's basically like quick snaps of the same play. We're like, okay.
I think
Noah Fant not only didn't get snaps. He not only didn't get snaps the last couple years, Mike. Like, he didn't get actual snaps. Like, no one took pictures of this guy. You're like, who the fuck is 87? Mike, I've been doing some, combing over some, like, analytics, whatever, snap shares. So last year, tight ends, 34th in snap share at the tight end position. Would you know that he finishes at tight end 34?
Really?
Yeah. Okay. 2 years ago. Now, it's a little bit different this next 2 years ago, 2022 season, 17th in raw snaps at the tight end position. Would you know he finishes at tight end 17?
Okay, let's go.
Guess what though happened the years prior? He's a top 12 tight end in both years when he's inside the top 12 in snaps. It's funny how we talk about chasing opportunity in fantasy football. Now. The stars seem to be aligning. Now, if they don't, Mike, I'll tell you this: if they don't, my soul is gonna be crushed. But also, it's over. It's definitely over. Given the fact that we project his offense is gonna have an uptick in passing, there's nothing but Pharaoh Brown and AJ Barner. They drafted you want to talk about the opposite of Pitts, guys that just are supposed to be in there to block, right?
Let me ask you this though.
Do it, please.
Ask me
if you ask me questions on Noah Fant, I'll talk all day.
Good. Through all your shares of Noah Fant.
I only have 4 for the record.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
Mike, you know what's weird about that? Can I tell you this? I was going to actually just say, I wanted to hear your question, but I feel like there's a lot of fake-ass, they don't want to say it, but stands out there that wouldn't sell Noah Fant on the sunk cost fallacy as well.
Really?
I at least feel that way.
Well, that was my question. I got 31%, my number one owned tight end.
Good for fucking you. Mike's going to win 15 fucking leagues.
I was going to ask you, because I assumed your share percentage was higher, but I also know that you and I play in a lot of similar leagues together. So
you know what really sucks?
Obviously, they're not multi-copy.
I think I made at least 3 videos over the summer, but the first one I made, and I went like a 10-minute breakdown, you know what happened every time I tried to buy? They sent me back the most egregious counter you've ever seen. Like, what?
Okay.
I'm done.
Hypothetically, though, speaking, because I don't know this actual number, out of all my Noah Fant shares across all my leagues, 31% of my leagues I'm in, I own Noah Fant. Okay. How many of those would you say are of that sunk cost fallacy where I've just always been in on Noah Fant, and how many would you say I've actively drafted in a startup now, like, especially considering this year where we're at with Noah Fant? How many of those? Would you say 50-50 seems fair?
For mine or yours? Yours, you're talking, right?
Just in general. Let's assume you had fucking 30% or 40% Noah Fant. Would you say like probably about half of them are still just hangovers from his previous draft capital, his previous performances, etc.?
So I can tell you, I'm looking at my 4 leagues. It is 50% on the dot. Like the one league, friends and family. I remember my guy. I traded J.K. right off of the injury for him, and I was like, all right, I kind of don't mind that. That was when. He was supposed to probably take a bigger step forward than he did in that 3rd season. And then he got traded to Seattle, and then it's like, oh, fuck, it's dead. Now, I believe actually, I won the shit league, and I had Noah Fant as my only tight end, who was terrible last year. Shows you how little the tight end position can matter if you're built the right way. But I believe I got him on like I think it's two of these I traded for him at a reasonable cost, and then the other two are like, I just can't let go of this Iowa tight end guy.
I think that's actually a pretty good number. I was just looking at him, just quickly identifying. I don't know if there's trades made here recently. It's a lot of leagues to keep track of, but newer leagues that I know were fresh off a startup or me taking over an orphan and making some moves, etc. It's 50-50 for me. So 50% is from previous holdover, kind of like the Kyle Pitts conversation we had. Just dudes that I won't let go because I'm like, I paid this much for him. Fuck off. And then the other 50% is like, I'm actively trying to get Noah Fant, whether it's in a startup or a trade in a newer league. So much so, Adam's like, fucking, I'm muting again. Number 2.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Well, Brian, make me talk. Make me talk. It's funny, actually. I'm looking at these 4, and we co-manage one of these teams, so I also have that going for us. We give them cheaper than beer. But anyway,
speaking of which, those motherfuckers need to pay so we can have our goddamn rookie draft and we can have our
Mike, it's called cheaper than beer. What do you expect? I mean,
fucking cheap bastards.
Well, here's the thing with Noah Fant. Like, if at this point in his dynasty, if he flames out, like if all this effort that I feel like I'm putting into that doesn't actually change any of the situation, bounce to nothing, like, no one's really going to be losing anything of consequence. I will feel like a failure, but I will be so sad. But it's a tight end 27, Mike. 27, 20. Like, who gives a fuck if you miss this? You're supposed to miss 18th round picks, bro. But if he hits, the crazy part about if he hits, Mike, is that this is now a tight end that's got a lot of athletic upside, and we've seen now have, like, I don't know, 2 tight end 1 seasons and a whatever he is this year, tight end 15 type thing, tight end 10. Like, all of a sudden now you're like, you know what that stock looks like relative to what you thought you had? The downside and upside to me, the risk reward is so heavily weighted one way. But anyway, I wish I had more Noah Fant, and I know none of you fuckers will trade him to me anymore, so it's just a theory now. It's just, I got what I have.
Here's the weirdest thing to me.
Okay.
David Njoku, even do you remember a couple of years when I gave up on David Njoku, like actively gave up on
he didn't go to Iowa. That's the only difference. I know. I remember.
He never even hit these lows of Noah Fant.
Well, like he did. He had his year. He hit the year that they brought in Hooper, and it looked like they were just going to move on from him. Was bad. It was terrible.
21.
Yes.
21.
Okay. Bam, imagine this dude getting the contract he has with the same team. They weren't even fucking playing him. He was the 3rd tight end in snaps, bro. Remember, Harrison Bryant was playing ahead of him.
That's true.
Like, his low was like, this guy must be the worst tight end ever. He was tight end 86 when he got hurt, and then he was tight end 49, playing almost that whole season.
So maybe this is why you being the Cleveland fan, me being the Noah Fant, Iowa fan.
Iowa, yeah.
Maybe this is why we're both in on Noah Fant. Your video that you did earlier about Noah Fant was fucking fantastic because the similarities between him and David Njoku and where they're at in their careers.
Pharaoh Brown, Mike, as the tying point at the end was like, okay, all right. I don't think I'm supposed to know this. This feels a little bit crazy.
We talk about, like, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like, that's kind of been the thing.
Yes.
This is the fucking 6 degrees of fucking Pharaoh Brown.
Dude.
The 6 degrees of Pharaoh Brown says Noah Fant's going to smash this year. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then we're all going to dance in a abandoned warehouse with a Volkswagen Bug, and we're going to do, like, gymnastics moves and, like, angry dance and, like, fist pump in the 80s.
You know what, though? You have 15. Like, for me having 4 shares, Mike, if he goes off, you have 15. I know everyone listening has gotten shares cheap somewhere. Like, I don't even care that I only have 4. I'm rooting for the guy. Also, at the tight end position, it's not like the field's super deep of realistically meaningful players, you know?
Ryan Grubb last year used Washington tight ends.
Here we go. This will be fun. I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this one.
He
Matumbo
used
this shit.
he used Washington tight ends to a point where people were trying to convince me, like the tight end guy, I guess. I don't know if I wear that or whatever, but I think I do fairly decent with my Sam Laporta one-hit wonder that I had out there. Like the one hit on my record. But they were trying to convince me that Jack Westover was going to be a fucking thing. And I'm like, this dude's fucking awful. But look how much they use him. He loves him. So if you translate Jack Westover.
All right, I forgot that you actually pay attention to college because I feel like there's a narrative out there that people are like, he doesn't use the tight. They don't know. They just don't know that's.
They don't. He used fucking Jack Westover for fuck's sake.
But the best part, Mike, is that I feel like at this point, if Jack Westover was in the NFL, he'd be ahead of Noah Fant. For the record, that's how bad it feels like it's for Noah Fant's view.
I think Jack Westover is in the NFL. He probably went undrafted, but he's in the NFL.
Well, it's like a fake NFL. It's the cup of coffee you get for the start, right? All right, let's get off of.
Does anybody roster Jack Westover in here? I'm sorry if I ruined your 4th of July.
I hope there's someone out there that has like a deep best ball with Westover. All right, let's. I mean, I could yap about these two for eternity, but I mean, listen, A-Rich this is a much different bet than Noah Fant. Okay, this is a guy that he cost you an arm and a leg. If he hits, Mike, I really believe that we're not going to have any idea of how ridiculous that upside is. What are we looking at with that face?
I had to look to see how much Anthony Richardson I had so I could talk to you about Anthony Richardson.
This is one guy we both have a lot of.
No, this is one guy you have.
Okay, well, all right. Well, yeah. Well, last year, Mike, I tried to convince you last year, and
you did.
It was Bijan. So I mean, I get it. I do. But I was
listen. I'm due. So last year you tried.
The crazy part is imagine telling someone a year ago, this guy that's just obsessed with the quarterback position right now. It feels like
right.
Fuck it, dude. Imagine people can't go back in time and think about that. They just can't.
We have switched spots. All right. You were on the right. I was on the left last year. Now I'm on the left. You're on the right. Whatever the fucking little
game. It's a fun little game we play though, where we.
So last year you did. You were like Mike. Hey, Rich, 101. Fuck off.
Mike, I remember vividly.
Bijan, Adam, Bijan.
I remember vividly.
And now this year, I'm like, Adam, Jayden Daniels, 101. And you're like, Marv. Marv.
Yeah.
Marv. I'm like, Adam, hey, Drake May, 105.
Adam, remember when you told me last year, Rich, look at this guy, Jayden Daniels. I get it, by the way. The thing, though, I remember when I took the amount of time I took on this thumbnail, the no ceilings. I did the Lil Wayne mixtape with A-Rich. I'm like, all right, it's really hard to convince Mike when he's leaned in on something. I'm like, but I'm gonna do my damnedest to try.
You did,
and I failed. I failed you. I'm sorry. I wish you had higher snaps.
I got one share.
You have
one?
No. No.
It's in the Expo League. Shout out the Expo's coming up here.
Dude, that's insanely low rostership, right?
I got to reach out and see if I can't do my yearly podcast with Mr. Bob Lung, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Good
definitely.
note to self.
Right before the Expo. Yep.
Yeah, it's tradition.
Tradition
one
like
share.
any other.
One fucking share, Adam. One share.
Wow. Well, can I tell you, though, what I was going to say about A-Rich is this. The range of outcomes, Mike, is, I think, as wide as you could possibly make a range of outcomes. I really believe.
It's so weird to see that I only have one share. I'm adamant, and I've been adamant for a while now on Anthony Richardson. I joined you on the bandwagon. You're definitely driving it.
I get you. Listen,
but I'm screaming
we're
from
happy
the
you're
back.
there. We're happy you're here. Yeah.
I'm screaming from the back. I would take Anthony Richardson over any quarterback in this fucking class. I will take Anthony Richardson over C.J. Stroud. Fucking test me. I dare you. If I got C.J. Stroud, you got A-Rich. Fucking send it 1-for-1. See what happens. I guarantee. Charles Barkley. Guarantee.
Not just will it happen. The quickness in that trigger, you will be absolutely floored. Done. I'll just say this though, like obviously the injury to the throwing arm, like how that looks, because I'll say this, it was a very small sample size, but he looked a lot better as a passer. Now it was, again, super small sample size than I think people were expecting. Now, Small sample size, the injury to the shoulder. But how does he look as a thrower? Does he stay healthy? Like if he has another year where he goes out and gets hurt early or is not playing a lot of games, the fever, I think, people will wake the fuck up on this fever, right? Because it's like, all right, he can't stay healthy, he can't avoid hits, whatever. But I also think, obviously, there's a lot in the middle. There's a lot of outcomes in the middle of that. But on the other high end of the spectrum is, what the fuck did we just watch? Like
there is, yeah.
I just don't think people really quite understand that what he possesses with Steichen, we watched it with Hurts, man. Like what he could do on the goal line and then in space. You look at, he had 4 touchdowns last year, Mike. I think 2 of them specifically I remember vividly. One to the right side, one to the left. Like 20-plus yard touchdowns. But it wasn't like one of these crazy long ones. Imagine this is a guy that can give you the Justin Fields 50-plus yard touchdowns, but also has, 6 to 8 potential opportunities at the fucking goal line to score. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy.
And he has not 1, but 3 pretty fucking competent wide receivers.
Dude,
at
okay.
his disposal. And an all-world running back.
Now, I'm curious. People don't realize this. They actually played last year, but on 3 snaps last year. JT and A-Rich.
Really? That's it? Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
He got hurt, and JT was hurt early, and then A-Rich left with the shoulder injury. But so we haven't even seen, like, imagine 28's back there, too, and it's like, okay, well, now 5 takes off on the fucking, buddy. But here's the crazy part.
I think our guy, Sparky sent me a trade earlier where he was like, he was sending away Breece Hall for Jonathan Taylor in the first, and I'm like, fucking hit the button. Don't even...
You know what's funny?
What the fuck are you doing?
The questions he's asked, I'm like...
Wasted time.
I know Mike's going to have my back, so I'm like, listen, just get in a second opinion. He knows exactly what I mean, and it's, damn, you guys are 2 peas in a pod, aren't you? Well, on these questions, I know Mike. But
last year, A-Rich versus Bijan, we were not 2 peas in a pod, and Adam was right.
Well, Bijan didn't... Think about Bijan still going damn near the same. You were correct on a lot of the arguments you made. It's just A-Rich has the upside. That's crazy.
But ask me if I'd ever draft fucking Bijan over A-Rich ever again.
Well, that
is
no. Sure.
So you win.
I want to tell you, I'm curious if you know this. So, Antoine Pierce.
You can't call him Antoine anymore. He hasn't done shit enough to be referred to as Antoine.
Well, I can tell you, actually, he dominated the NFL in a category, Mike. Dominated.
What? Deep balls?
Well... I guess catching not deep balls, like he was ball.
White dudes
Mike,
running 9 routes.
He was on the field. His snap share was the elite of elite of elite of elite. This guy was on the field for like 96% of snaps last year.
Alec Pierce?
Listen, I'm telling you, I've been doing some deep dives with my fucking time.
You have, because that guy did fucking nothing.
Mike, but just stick with me on this point. Go ahead and look it up for yourself. I know you have to.
I am.
You have to. You're not going to take my word for it, and I wouldn't either. For the record, I would not.
Get the fuck out of here,
brother. Can you read it for the people? Can you read it for the people so that they know I'm not full of shit?
95.2 snap share, number 2 in the entire fucking league for wide receiver.
Can you imagine, Mike? Can you imagine being out there that frequently? And just existing,
sucking.
Just you're existing. You're literally breathing. Because, dude, that is. I actually was so flabbergasted. I'm like, I have to be looking at this wrong. Like, am I looking at the percentage? What am I looking at here? Now, the reason I say that, I'm curious if you are trying to. Can you piece together the puzzle I'm trying to put for you here?
You replace him with fucking.
They drafted a guy that they want to use in that snap percentage.
You're right.
That they think is much different than Antoine's.
Dude, I might be too low on Adonai.
Like I was actually getting ready to be. I was getting ready to be like kind of out. Like fuck, man. I drafted a lot of him pre-NFL draft. I'm so back, buddy.
You're gonna tell me he's gonna be on the field for 95.2% of the snaps.
Now, the crazy part, go look at Pittman's, okay? Go look at Pittman's, and you'll see that if he didn't have the early exits, he would have been like Antoine Pierce snap share. He still damn near was, but he left like one game at 15%.
Yeah, he's number 4 in the league.
But for the record, like think about that. They basically don't take these guys off the field. So you're telling me A-Rich is going to be out there on every snap that he plays with JT in the backfield, when healthy, JT, Adonai, and then he still has Downs in the slot. Also, Jelani Woods is an athletic tight end. This is going to be an athletic-ass team.
Michael Pittman would have been number 1, but in Week 15, he only played 31% of the snaps.
There you go.
That's it. That's the one that kills him. Because if he plays 95%, 96%,
and when you have to keep up with the Antoine Pierces of the world, like you can't have a 31% snap share game. Okay,
you can't afford it.
But just think about that though. Like that actually to me is crazy. From the passing element, from what you have to read in the backfield, both Taylor and it could be it could be really fun to watch, dude. I will say this though. This is where I say, nah, Brian. I love him, but it's Lamar for me still.
Lamar.
I got Lamar as my 4th overall player in Dynasty in Superflex. I got Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts, and he's like, I'm not trying to discount Lamar for the record, but I have him comfortably at 4, and that's crazy given the guy basically is going to rush for 800 to 1,000 yards.
Name the quarterbacks you wouldn't take over A-Rich. I'm pretty sure we're on the same page with this.
Can I tell you that, Mike, I think it's I don't think I'll ever have to, but I feel like I'm basically A-Rich is like the barber says. Next. I'm taking A-Rich ahead of Stroud. I mean, would you take him ahead of Burrow is the question.
Yep.
I would too. Yeah, I got A-Rich next. So do you too?
So I have 5 quarterbacks ahead of Anthony Richardson.
Maybe I'm just missing one though. I don't think so.
You're good, and the 5th one is up for debate, right? But
which is
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, no questions.
Yep, sure.
Lamar Jackson, you already touched on him.
Yep.
I personally favor Kyler, but if you didn't,
wow, really? Okay. Interesting.
I'm very bullish on Kyler.
Okay. I mean, I get it. But I'm not doing that ahead of A-Rich. I get you though. Okay. I assumed like I was missing somebody. I'm like, who the fuck am I missing? I did not think you were gonna do that with Kyler. Give me the case for Kyler ahead of A-Rich, because obviously it's not going to be with market, because Kyler, the market really cooled, but then he got the market to come back, and they still haven't quite reacted enough, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm just saying too, like if you're in a startup draft, you probably take A-Rich first, because you more than likely can get Kyler on the return. Like that's, people are way too down on Kyler. I say with Kyler Murray, he is Anthony Richardson production wise. Okay, they're obviously very different players. One is here and the other one's like down here somewhere. Adam, like he's a little shorter on the short side. No offense, Kyler.
I think that guy should just go play baseball. Remember that.
But production wise, we've seen full seasons of Kyler Murray well over 20 fantasy points per game.
Sure.
We've seen a couple games of Anthony Richardson where we got to do a lot of projecting, and you brought up the shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. Even last year with Kyler coming off an ACL, it's still a fucking 18-point per game guy with little to no weapons outside of Trey McBride, and now you add in Marvin Harrison, and you're like, okay, welcome back to the 20-point per game like floor club Kyler Murray. That's why I'm a little bit higher on him. I think the production's a little bit more safer. I've seen it from him a little bit longer, but if you got A-Rich over him, market says A-Rich is over him. I understand. Yeah. I'm just saying in my personal world, if I'm like roster constructing, I would feel better if I had Kyler Murray on my team just slightly than Anthony Richardson.
The one thing for me why I can't do it, I definitely get your point, and your point's actually, I think, a pretty damn good one. To me, I'm someone, I think we talked about this a little on the C2C pod. I like to kind of have a pulse, and I think about a lot like what of these assets it can just get heated up to like it's on fire, and all of a sudden I'm in a spot that I know I don't belong in anymore. Like I can trade him for anybody straight up. Like there's only a few players that now Kyler at his peak was that, but he's kind of settled in, I think, for people. I think he can definitely rise, but I don't think he'll ever be. I personally don't know that he'll ever get to the point where the community says, yeah, he should be the 101. Like, I feel like those days are probably over unless he ends up being, you know, the quarterback 3 like he was and he had 11 rushing touchdowns. The thing with A-Rich, if he stays healthy, like if he even stays healthy for 8 games and like looks really good, all bets are off to where his dynasty value could be, in my opinion.
Hey, if you guys are of the betting fiend and you like to, Kyler Murray is somewhere around plus 5,000 to win MVP this year.
I mean,
I throw a few shekels on that.
I don't love him to be the MVP, but I love the 5,000, and I think it's right up my alley. For let me get a little dart on this. That division,
if Kyler Murray and Lamar like click, and all of a sudden Kyler Murray comes out and he wins the division, which I think
that's I think the thing. The hardest part about MVP is like you can't win MVP without winning the division, really. Like it's gonna be
you got to be ridiculous,
or you've got to break you got to not break fan, you got to break the NFL. Like you got to do something we've never seen before. So,
but if you're breaking the NFL, you're probably winning your division.
Yeah, unless really Frisco just goes like 14-2, and you're like, what the
right.
But I mean, I guess that would be why I think the 5,000 is a little high, but makes sense because it's like he not only has to ball the fuck out, which I think he can, but now it's like they are winning the division, which could happen if Marv is special. Like if Marv is him, it could end up being Harrison. That's his ticket to the dance, Mike, back to the top. But
if Marv is Kyler Murray's Jamar Chase.
If Marv is like those dudes, if he's one of those 3 or 4 guys, Kyler might. I could be wrong. Maybe Kyler's in the 103. Yeah. Don't forget about Trey McBride now.
The win in the division thing is hard because that defense is kind of poo.
There's still a lot about that team that I'm still.
It's kind of poo.
I want to see first. I'm trying to think here. There was. That's it as far as player shares, but I'm curious.
We had a super chat there.
Yeah, we got it.
Didn't answer that one.
Did I not?
We didn't answer that.
Tyler, you know what? Thank you that Mike is coherent tonight.
I got you.
The coherency of Mike is actually alarmingly good. Well, don't forget pragmatic, that shows how coherent he is as he drinks the ice only left and all the vodka's done. In a vacuum, Palmer or a random 25 first. Oh, and a random 25 first or Zay Flowers PPR start 12. If it's a lineup league, I want the Zay side.
Lineup league, I'll take the Zay side.
Would you take the best ball side of Palmer?
The best ball side, as much as shit as I just talked about Zay Flowers, the 2-for-1.
Damn. All of a sudden, that process gets him.
The best ball process is a different beast, man. People don't
I don't
really
know
acknowledge it. There's a big difference between best ball and lineup.
I'll admit, like in a underdog where he's going, I'm probably gonna end up taking Josh Palmer on all my fucking teams because only need dude, he's going so late, bro.
Yeah, he was around. Eric and I just did a best ball mania team for his podcast.
How do you feel about the team the way it ended up?
Jesus, I've never felt so good about a team, which means it's probably going to be ass.
You know what it could mean? But it could mean, like Johnny Detroit says, 5,000 shekels, buddy.
5,000 shekels? Well, I hope it's the grand prize. No, it was great. We went with a 3-4-9-2 build. I think I got all the numbers right. 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs.
Without the visual, I'm trying to keep track of it. Okay, 4 running backs, 9 receivers. We
got our 4 running backs like fairly early.
Yeah, are they?
Fuck, we're done.
Did you like draft at the back end and take a 2 at the turn?
We took the first 2 picks were wide receivers. Obviously, it's underdog, and everybody goes fucking wide receiver crazy.
Okay.
So I think we went Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
In the 3rd round, Derrick Henry. I
believe, it's Henry, A-Chain, like Kyron.
So we went Henry. Yeah, A-Chain went like 1 pick before us, which I was kind of pushing for the upside. Like
I actually feel like Henry. It maybe isn't quite the A-Chain thing, but I feel like Henry could end up being some stupid high.
That's what Eric said too. So we went A-Chain.
Let's go, Eric. I'm so proud of you right now.
I think we got an ETN in there. Pacheco and Kenneth Walker.
Wow. Okay, so you got 4
4 dudes.
pretty solid running backs that we.
I had to talk Eric into Kenneth Walker because of the Ryan Grubb, and I was like, he fucking made Dylan Johnson relevant, and Dylan Johnson was not that good.
I just added another free Dylan Johnson on waivers, like knowing it's probably going to get cut, but fuck it, you know.
Why not? And then a lot of the wide receivers, we ended up with like a Brian Thomas, a Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson. But we filled in with the vets that have been on this fucking network, this South Harmon Dynasty show. Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks was another guy.
I just drafted Brandon Cooks today.
Yeah, we filled in with them fucking vets, baby.
Mike, can I tell you, I took really late in the draft at the turn, Adonai and Cooks, and I was like, why do I really love this? I know I just gave you the Alec Pierce thing.
Eric talked me into a tight end earlier than I wanted, but you know, if I'm gonna get talked into a tight end, we got Pat Fryermuth with that like a value, like a real good value. So I
could see him. I could see him being pesky in the
Joe Burrow, the quarterback to stack with Jamar Chase. By the way, Joe Burrow,
Jamar Chase stack is great for a tournament like that too.
And then we went super crusty, man. Old man Russ. Russ is our second quarterback.
Dude.
And then at the end, we were trying to decide between a QB3 or a tight end 3, like on our build.
What'd you go with?
The tight ends were dog shit. Like, I really didn't want to touch them at all. Drake May was hanging out there, so I was
You get to that point in the draft, well, fuck yeah, the tight ends are dog shit. You want to take Juwan Johnson off this foot injury?
So he was even gone, I believe, Adam. Otherwise, I probably would have taken Juwan Johnson.
Wow.
So we took Drake May instead.
Okay. Yeah, what was Palmer, I guess, like I was saying, though, in that range, like, sure. But I guess in Dynasty, like I drafted him there because it's super late, and I think that there's a better chance than not that he ends up being a guy that maybe even is the leader in targets in that. They're low passing volume, but, like, dude, he could be relevant. Now, the problem for me is... I don't want to
bet on Dynasty.
That's the thing. In redraft, if it doesn't happen, it's fine. It's my underdog draft. Fuck it. Like... Dynasty, Zay Flowers now, and I got a guy that is dead? No, Mike, I don't want to be that guy in Dynasty. Even in best ball, I don't think I could do it.
I was just going to say, like, I said best ball, but even in best ball, like, I'm getting, like, super crusty. That's like a classic Mike move where I go, fuck you, I'm smarter and better than all of you.
Well, that move, I think...
which sometimes works out, but sometimes I also look like an asshole, so...
If we stay true to this and it's random, just that, no. Now, if you told me that it's a random, but I kind of want to be in the business of betting against this random team, I can get behind it there. That's probably my only scenario, though. I like Zay as a high-end wide receiver, too. I've given you the reasons why I don't know these. I'm concerned about him getting to the elite level, but that's where I'm at. Yo, I don't know why, but I love this. Like, yo.
Saxon, is that your real name too? Like, is that your actual first name, Saxon?
Saxon, is that you?
That's fucking amazing.
I'm a fan. You just come in here and you just yo, like, I'm just with
yo.
You. You're one of us. You're one of us.
With the first name Saxon.
All right.
I got a name like Mike.
This might be the craziest
Adam.
AMA, Mike. We are an hour and 27 in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to scroll to like questions at the beginning. This is kind of awesome.
Out. You got to find one?
No. I'm just saying, like, we've basically answered super chats or talked player shares for this entire time. We haven't answered, like,
let's go.
Let's try to get through some of these. All right. Chip Diamonds, if you're still with us, you really are our diamond. All right.
Gangster staying this long.
Allen, Herbert, Nix. Hopefully you watch it back. Allen, Herbert, Nix, Gibbs, A-Chain, Marv, Tyreek, Ayuk, Keenan, Rome. How about you just get both? Don't have to fade Rome. JSN, Myers, Leggett. Andrews, Bowers, Pitts. I'm trying to figure out where the problem becomes. 25 first and 5 seconds. Offer Chase and Moss for Rome, Pitts, JSN in a second. Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure. Okay. Chase and Moss. You got to say Rome, Pitts, JSN in a second. Where are you at on JSN and Dynasty right now?
I like him, man, but it is a start 10. Do I really want to like him that much?
I have him in a start 10, and I feel like I don't want to say I'm fake JSN love, but I feel like the format to me is just like I'm scared. I'm scared, Mike.
He might never start Pitts. He might never start Rome as currently constructed.
Fizzle, just plug your ears, okay? It's all right. I promise. It's Mike. You gotta let Mike work through this. All right. He's here. He's here. Is my fucking diamond, brother.
This is fucking pricey.
Huh?
This is fucking pricey, but you're going to have an absolute starting lineup monster in a lineup league by getting Jamar Chase in here. Marv, Tyreek, and Chase. Ayuk just sitting in the flex. Gibbs and A-Chain as your starting running backs. Your quarterbacks are fine. Obviously, more than fine with Josh Allen. It was more Herbert. Sorry, Justin Herbert fans. I think I say yes to this.
Can I tell you?
Best ball, I tell him to fuck off. Get the fuck out of my DMs. Lineup start 10, on the other hand. This is sexy.
Do you know, dude, I'm telling you what thing. The prophecy, pragmatic, coherent, like this is a McNutted that you don't get to see every day, ladies and gentlemen. It's
America's birthday tomorrow.
Look at that. Independence. Mike's becoming an independent viewer. I'll tell you the one thing for me I would maybe consider if I don't want to kill the deal. I'm actually with you, Mike. Getting rid of Rome, like the upside of Pitts, I definitely could look back and I'm like, all right, fuck it. I lost it. But I could still see him being ridiculous. The one thing, he did accept it. I was going to tell you this is where sometimes you don't need to do it on a deal like this, though. I would have just played around with, like, I hate Zach Moss. Personally, it's a personal thing. I would just see if there's a different pivot, but on a deal like this, fuck it. I'll take that Zach Moss and we'll see what happens.
He's a running back who might be starting.
By the way, he fits. You want to talk about roster construction? You got Gibbs and A-Chain, and that's all you listed to me. So if Zach Moss, like, you need a couple bodies. Zach Moss is a body.
Third running back.
Mike, Zach Moss is a body. I'll give you that. He's absolutely that. So, by the way, I see you accepted the trade. You play to win the game. Herm boys, let's go.
Trade Brock Bowers, by the way. Do yourself a favor.
Well, can I tell you this? I'm with you, but the hysteria at this young tight end, I feel like wait until that week happens. And then fucking what you don't do is get real excited after that week. Yeah. That's what you have to be careful of.
Well, if I'm looking at it, I'm doing it strategically. Herbert and Brock Bowers for fucking Jalen Hurts. For Patrick Mahomes.
Saxon gonna make me cry. Love you.
For Herbert and Brock Bowers for Lamar Jackson. And now you can face Chase, Josh Allen, another top 4 quarterback, Gibbs, A-Chan, Marv, Tyreek, fucking Mark Andrews. You guys can all lick my balls. Just print me my check.
Here's the way I'm looking at it too, actually, with Rome. It's like, Rome, I think, has the upside to get into that stupid territory. But if I'm going to forego that, what if I just get in there now?
What if I just win this whole fucking thing right now?
And then look at your roster construction, right? Like, Ayuk, wide receiver 4. Like, it's start 10. You got Keenan at 5. Myers is, I think, a guy that, like, realistically is a great little addition at the end of your roster construction in a league like this. I think this is... You had the correct assets to pull this off. I think sometimes you don't fuck around with a Zach Moss, and when you got Chase on the platter, just go ahead and do it.
Chip, if your team was shittier, right?
Mike, the Gibson shade was his next best running back.
Now that's Gibson truth. That's what he said. He was like, I believe in Antonio Gibson so
much. All right, it's official. Mike is coherent as it gets.
I got it. I can't let you bring me down.
This all started. Oh my gosh, the haters are where are they at?
It never works.
Oh my goodness, shit. The Chip Diamonds quarterback horde. I will say there's plenty of times where like you can say it doesn't work because you're still in the quarterback horde in like a year and a half, 2 years, whatever. But when they work, buddy, it's a. Speaking of Independence Day, it's such an American feeling. It kind of just tingles you right there,
I was gonna say I don't know who I hate more, Drew Sorensen music or that like Chicago sports fan dude that always comments.
I don't hate any of them. I actually like it. I just hope at this point that they're still entertaining the discussions here in July and that we get a little I wouldn't mind a little shot here on this Chip Diamonds comment from Drew Sorensen or somebody in here to make my really 4th of July happy. You know,
I use hate the loose term. All right, I hate the fact that they can get to me and they can trigger me.
Yeah, it's easy to it's a little more easier to trigger Mike when you're doing content with him and he's drinking. You're drinking, you just start saying shit. But you trigger Mike in the comments, like you're doing a pretty good job. You're doing something right.
You did a good job. Just artfully crafted.
You're playing the role. All right. Add him on the clock. I don't know what it is, Mike. I see this name and it's like my.
Are you on the clock somewhere?
No, I think what I was gonna say is it's like the alternate reality or universe of me, where I'm constantly you're tagging me, or is he gonna make his pick on time? It's like this is the flip side of that.
You started the show on time tonight. All right.
Oh,
it's a new leaf.
Listen, yeah, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It's just not very likely. So, and he may just happen to have done what you asked one time too. It's maybe you didn't teach him shit. He looked like he sat down when you asked. He doesn't. That isn't what happened. Lineup is pretty loaded. It's a start 10, 0.75 tight end premium, so pretty much the same lane as last time. Wouldn't mind some depth. Okay, made a boredom trade. Sent Amon-Ra 212 for Ayuk 112 and 201. I think this is a boredom trade, man. I wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't either. Like you want depth,
and I love Ayuk, but this is nah.
The depth you're getting, right? The depth he's getting is going to be in the form of the 112.
Did you make this trade on the clock? Don't do that again, then.
The depth you're getting is in the form of rookie picks, which are sketchy at best. Sometimes, like rookie players, as far as what they produce in year one. So, is it really depth?
Well,
or is it just more?
It can be 4D into depth, though. It could be. You could absolutely, if let's say you got a Lad and a Keon, or I don't know, someone. Those are the guys going in that range, right? And you flip Lad because he got the most targets for the first 2 weeks for Amari Cooper. Like,
there you go.
Now, here's the thing, though. I get it. I get the idea. Here's my thing, though. I think about the format. And it's funny because we're getting ready to do Dynasty Mind Warp here pretty soon. I'm starting to think about like Warp again. And I think about this format, and it's like, what am I optimally trying to do? At the end of the day, go get my fucking Amon-Ra. Like that Jamar Chase trade we just did, right? I'm trying to eventually get that. So I think that's where, to me, that's where I struggle with this. If that name is not Amon-Ra St. Brown, basically if you told me that name is, gosh, Mike, so many different of these receivers.
A.J. Brown.
Done. Puka. I'd probably do it. Chris Olave is I can't do it quick enough. But the point is, there's like four. There's basically 4, 5. I could put Marvin there. There's 5 receivers. I can't take this offer for. Everybody else, sure.
Yeah.
It just happens to be one of those guys. Now it doesn't mean it can't work out for you. When I have Amon around this format, like you gotta fucking pry for my cold dead hands. 112 and 201. Not my.
Listen, if that one went on the trade show, we wouldn't clown you to death. It's not like
we have some really big Ayuk love though, right?
We do.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him go elsewhere and like earn 170 targets just to fucking make people big mad.
Fuck yeah, come to Philly.
Oh, yeah, I got bad news. There's not 170 targets waiting in Philly.
What? Fuck Dallas Goedert. We'll send him back.
Mike, if you gave Dallas Goedert targets away from the last 2 years, I don't know if they get to 170.
See, the math is mathing. If we just don't throw to anybody else but our 3 wide receivers, we'd be fine.
The pragmatic nature is starting to dwindle maybe a little here. I love it, though.
That glass is empty.
It kind of happens. Remember on the Maddie episode where you were like, I know when it's basically time to cut the show off when I'm empty, but you were still live. That's an all-time blooper for the record. An all-time
greatest blooper in the history of this show.
And Maddie, all things Maddie catches it like a minute or 2 later. Oh, we're still live.
It was a good thing. Thank you, Maddie.
I would have
left that fucker alive forever.
I'm always afraid of getting canceled, but I wouldn't mind seeing that a little more. Per sleeper, more a candidate for an extension. If he gets a bag, he will be looked at as the one, no question. Or will the Buzzards bring his age to the table?
It's too late for him, man.
I mean,
I'll be the Buzzard.
I think DJ Moore. Can I tell you what it's going to feel like, Mike? Now,
Maybe he's
I don't know that
about
it's
Elijah Moore.
Oh no! Why do you got to see the pragmatic?
Well, it's Dynasty Alex.
I know that's fair.
If this is a Dynasty Alex trade-off, it definitely is Elijah Moore.
See, remember Mike was talking about like certain people that he hates. Dynasty Alex, he doesn't actually hate him, but he has a very fond feeling when he gets that name across the screen, Dynasty Alex. I'll just say this: like it's his age. Yeah, jeez almighty, we have lost it. It's all just like that.
Yeah.
Can I get one of those again?
On cue. Multiple fingers.
Mike, it's funny because JSN we're worried about now. I'm trying so hard to just talk. This is insane. But remember last year is like DK is just not the alpha anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
But if it feels like that type of a feeling, but Rome's a top 10 receiver that's fucking him.
Himothy.
And if, for the record, if JSN came out and balled last year or showed the signs that were not teetering,
DK.
Yeah, he would be a thing of the past.
Rip DK. We're ready to write him off.
I think that's just the way kind of I feel like DJ Moore is going to be cemented in this mid-20s for eternity unless he returns like top 10 value again this year.
You say DJ Moore, I say Terry McLaurin.
Oh, damn it, Mike. That's even low for you. That hurts, man.
I'm just saying.
I still have some DJ Moore lying around. Don't kill him on air. I'm trying to trade some of them. Sharky. 12-team Superflex PPR start 10. Burrow, Herbert, Geno, Minshew. Running backs, Henry, Ramondre, Gus. Yikes. That's outside of Henry, that's a running back room of throwing bodies at it. Garrett Wilson, Ayuk, DJ Moore. Speaking of DJ Moore, Kirk, JSN, Downs. Tight end Pitts. Okay. Fizzle, you still with us? Trade.
He might be.
Trade. Give Garrett Wilson and JSN get Chase. Ooh.
See ya. Bye. Pack your shit, Garrett Wilson. And I've become a Garrett Wilson fan, Adam. You've seen the progression. But I'm packing Garrett Wilson's bag for him.
Like, I'll be honest with you.
My team.
It's probably because he's an Ohio State guy and I have a little more vested, like, wanting him to. I feel like I'm bipolar on Garrett Wilson. I've gone so far back and forth on this. I feel like I'm really back in, but if Garrett Wilson ends up being legit as hell this year, okay, you lost JSN. But that's kind of the price. To me, that's the price that's reasonable given I just get the. Mike, what if Jamar Chase, what if this T. Higgins thing is patchwork together, but it doesn't work out long term? Do you know what a Jamar Chase, like 190 target season could do? Fuck. As a Browns fan, I don't want to see that, for the record.
I've been thinking about that for a while now.
Dude, I can now call it 4th of July. I get the D-Bro with no hat avatar.
What up, D-Bro?
My man. All right. Dude, send it. I feel like Chase, again, it's those type of receivers are, even for Garrett Wilson, I know that's not typically how you want to get them, but they're hard to acquire, man. So just go ahead and do it. Especially this time of year. Fuck it. Had a guy sent what in what listen, these are the things you keep to yourself because people are like, that is a fish of fishes. Man, that's so bad.
Yeah. Hit that guy up, Dabba.
What was I'm actually kind of curious. I need to go look now. What was like the highest point Shakir hit in like a not necessarily dynasty value, but like did he have like a crazy high game? I don't really remember that. Even in all the best ball we play.
Let's see. His best finish last year was
last year he did have 6 targets in the game, which got him wide receiver 25. Wide receiver 18 after week 18.
He was a top 10 wide receiver one time. 20.5 points. Week 11 versus the Jets.
On 3 catches.
3 fucking catches. 3 catches? This is like the major league.
Mike, can I tell you?
3 catches? 3 goddamn catches?
I couldn't get rid of Gabe Davis with fucking grease pieces for a first after, what was it, 5 touchdowns?
5 in a playoff game.
Playoffs? Oh, that's eerie. Buddy, Dabba Dubby, can you do me a favor? I got my league shares down this year, but I'm willing to get in a startup with this guy if he can make it happen, or gal. Either way, I mean,
name and shame. Name and shame.
You could be a DM. We don't have to tell the whole world. It's just let's figure out a way to make this happen, though.
Okay, that's fair.
America's a great country, you know. Wicks and Watson for DK.
Christian Watson.
I mean, I kind of assume, Mike. Remember how bad Deshaun Watson's value? I kind of assume this is Deshaun, but either way,
It could be Christian.
it could be Christian. It could be Deshaun. I feel like they trade for damn the same right now, which is insane.
I think I'd take this. I'd take the DK side. I think I would.
I'm taking DK here. What if it was Deshaun?
No, fuck you.
If I had better quarterbacks that if I could afford to get rid of Deshaun, I feel like I probably would like to see if I can get better. But yeah, I'd probably still even do it then. Now it's a little more specific if I'm doing it there. Like I feel like DK is going to be one of these guys that doesn't give you dynasty value upside anymore because I don't know what you imagine that big, that fast, and that much upside that isn't cool anymore. But that's what it is now. You know,
we hate him.
It's but I think in this offense, I'm pretty excited to see what he could end up being.
Which I would have assumed when I made that Tyler Lockett video. Right?
Thank you, D-Bro. And D-Bro loves some Christian Watson.
I would assume when I made that Tyler Lockett video that, DK was super high and people were also high on JSN. They fucking hate all of them. They fucking hate universally. They hate Noah Fant. They hate Kenneth Walker. They hate fucking Geno Smith. They hate DK. They just fucking hate Seattle.
I'll tell you
there's
what,
not a guy on that fucking team. I guess maybe if you play in IDP leagues, maybe there's an IDP guy that somebody likes. But universally for Seattle, everybody hates everybody. I don't get it. There's got to be at least one, right? Where we're like, hey, Pete Carroll's gone. Passing offense.
No,
Yay!
Mike. That's what I was going to get to.
Fuck you.
I was going to get to. How many people like that just have vested interest in the NFL or fantasy football? Not the dynasty degenerates, the 163 that are like, this is their most exciting thing for the week, right? Like, this is they're one of us. How many do you think they even know that there's a coaching change? Because Pete Carroll seems like he's been there for, speaking of an eternity. How many do you think they even know? And then let's say now, let's break out. There's a group that probably don't know or don't care, don't pay that much attention. Now, of the people that know, how many of them do you think have any idea who's the coach? They know it's a change, but who's the coach? There's another group of people you can put into a separate category.
They obviously don't know who the offense coordinator is either, or where he came from.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even if they know the name, can they tell you that he Washington anything about this? Why Penix a first-round pick? To your point, there was college interest on that tight end. Go ahead.
I told Fizzle this. One of my favorite things to watch on TikTok now is this guy who goes around to like sporting events and asks all the fans outside, "Are you a casual or a hardcore fan?" So the last one I was watching, they were in Boston during the finals. They're asking Celtics fans, casual or hardcore, and everybody says hardcore.
It's Boston. It's Boston, yeah.
He just asked the question, where'd Jason Tatum go to college? And people would be like flat. They don't even fucking have a clue where their best player
went to
fucking college at.
He went to college? That was like forever ago. College.
One person said Iowa State. They got Jason Tatum confused with Tyrese Halliburton for fuck's sake.
Now I know why you remember this video. Iowa State. That was the ceiling of the deal for you.
I like Tyrese.
No, you hate that school though.
I hate the school, but I love Tyrese.
I know. I just meant
Purdy.
The fact that someone said that
State,
Tatum went to Iowa State, you're like, no, fuck this guy.
Well, I was like, God damn, you're just saying that because he's light skinned.
That's
you don't
crazy.
know shit about fuck.
Yeah, no, they don't. But anyway, I think now you have a group that doesn't really know, and then you have some people that maybe have a little bit of an idea, like, oh yeah, he had a good year at Washington, but no idea like that. There's a very different potential for I think this entire offense, especially in the receiving department. But whatever,
very different than we've ever seen under the Pete Carroll regime.
And that's the thing, like, you look at a lot of the teams in the NFL, they have quicker turnover with coaches. Like, Seattle's one of those teams that at this point, Like Tennessee's very much the same way with Vrabel. Like people don't associate. They can't get their mind wrapped around that this offense is going to be completely different in the way that it's from what
hypothetical,
it's been.
man. Everybody knows Iowa, and we make fun of Iowa's offense, right?
Well, hold on now. That's you. You're from Iowa. Everybody that is on this thing probably does. You talking about the casuals? How many?
I'm even talking casuals. Casuals will know that Iowa has the lowest like game totals like in history.
That's true. Betting has put them on the map. That's a fair point.
Betting has put them on the map. But hypothetically, let's say like fucking Kirk Ferentz retires tomorrow, and they hire I don't even know what the fucking guy's name. The guy who runs fucking Texas State, which puts up a prolific offense.
Let's go Texas. What a pull.
People are still valuing Seattle like fucking Kirk Ferentz runs that team. When in reality, now we're at like this super spread passing prolific attack, this up tempo offense, which is fucking stupid. Like, why? We can't find one guy that we're like, yep, dude's gonna smash this year. Look at this. No, just universally across the board, they all fucking suck. We hit them all, except for Zach Charbonnet, for whatever, like the worst choice.
I'm having
the
so
backup
much fun.
running.
I'm having so much fun. Don't. Let's just leave Sharbs out of this for now. I'm with you. Mike, I'll say this. There's actually a lot of love happening right now, but I will say I got Jake's comment cue, D-Bro. I feel like this is about as clear of a sign as we've ever needed, Mike. I can do it, but I might even. I'm going to give you the honors. I think this is.
I got you.
Your next solo, I think you kill this one, buddy. Let's give the people what they want. You know.
Next solo, I mean, Scott Fishbowl's coming up, so I got to tell you how inevitably fail.
Next solo, that's not the one we have planned for. That's true.
But the one after that, I got you, Jake. 2 weeks down the road. Redwoods, if you're still in here, you can start working on that. Give me the thumbnail. 2 weeks.
Okay, here we go. This comment is, it's so 4th of July for me.
America.
Love the content. Thanks, boys. Got Rome and traded Devontae. Thanks for the validation. Happy 4th. Nothing says America like a 66. Cool. I'll be honest with you. I'm rooting for Mike to put one of those in every time, but no. I don't think I could do it, man. I don't even know what my tolerance is on that. I don't do it. I would probably be in a really bad way taking a 66.
You want to try one at the expo?
No, I don't. I really don't.
$100.
Dude, I can't do it. And I need money desperately right now. I'm that $100 would go that $100 would go a long way for me right now. But Mike, I've seen what that 66 does to you. I just saw a couple pictures from your old coworker. That man looked like he was fighting for every ounce of his life. The random work day, he is buried in that fucking trash can, man. I'm $100 isn't even in the stratosphere for me. It's got to be egregious. I feel like I would feel awful for a while.
It's about a half a day. It's about a half a day for the unseasoned.
Okay, so here I'm planning to do 2 startups. I have held out for fucking an eternity. It's been horrible. I'm gonna get myself to 20, and that's about where I was at last year, and I'm done. So I'm gonna do 2 startups before the season kicks off, and one is definitely gonna be a shit league. I don't know when or how. I want to make it a fun one though. So Saxon, shitheads, let's just be prepared. If you're in you're probably gonna have to be in the Discord, buddy. I'm just gonna call it what it is. If you're not in the Discord, I love you, but we're not doing it.
I for sure am doing at least one more. I haven't done my own auction. I've been part of some other auctions.
I haven't done an auction either, but I don't know what I want to do yet. Hold on. Everything stops. Pops is here.
What's up, Dad? How we doing?
Hey, can I tell you this is speaking of America? By the way, I don't know how I've seen it 10 times and haven't. A Rich is just blended. He has been up here for fucking the whole show. The color
he blends in with the background.
It's every time we get a comment up, I see it. But Sean, here's a tenner. Do it, buddy. Come on, Mike.
So,
Pops.
I was I was trying to get Pops to go on this cruise with us, Adam, too. So just hypothetically, how we started the show, you know?
Dude,
you can meet Pops.
You were going to all extents on this.
Well, the other thing is, at the very least, listen, I'm a piece of shit. My dad had to remind me that my brother lives in Seattle when I was talking to him about, like, I got to get a hotel, you know, the day before the cruise and the day after, or whatever it is. He's like, you know your brother lives there. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm a sack of shit. He does.
But you know what? Once you get over that feeling, it's like, all right, that's kind of nice. I can, you know, I don't have to get a hotel, and I don't have to tell anyone except for we aired it on AMA now. Everyone knows.
Yeah. Well, my brother lives in Seattle.
He's
a shout out to my brother, man. Pretty successful. Works for Bowen. Smartest dumb
really?
kid I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the family, but he's
Well,
working for Bowen. That's a big deal.
We'll air a little bit here. Once upon a time, he pissed in a tennis ball. So when I say smartest dumb kid I know, my dad would agree. Dad, between all your children, who's the dumbest?
You know, you can go to some of these like gourmet places, and they'll try to sell you a really expensive hot dog, Mike. But you can put a whole bunch of shit on a hot dog. At the end of the day, guess what? It's still a hot dog. You know, like you can try to tell me it is what it is, and it's worth $15, but it's still a fucking Oscar Mayer wiener, buddy.
As soon as the show's over, Dad, give me a call too, because we changed the dates. They sold out of the suite for the dates I sent you, so it's gonna be in July now. I get you the dates.
There was wait a minute. What was the question? By the way, appreciate the super chat, Sean. There was a question I thought we had up here. Oh, the startups we were talking about. You were talking about the auction startup. Yeah.
Ooh, that's another one, man. I can get you and your wife to come down to Daytona at Christmas time. What do you say about that? We go hang out at my dad's place.
I'm curious. I need to know the correlation. I'm like, I'm asking you about auctions, and you're like, oh, we get you and your wife down to Daytona.
I don't know where the auction came in.
I'll be honest, like I need to know how. Did you not hear me at all? Did you read something? Like, how did that happen? I love it. I just need to know.
Vodka.
That's the best answer. That answer is about the best answer you could have given me. I love that even more.
America 2024. Yeah, Saxon.
Dynasty Alex. I was really thinking Snake, but now that you say this, I'm kind of feeling maybe
auction.
It is an. Yeah. I'm not sold, but Dynasty Alex makes me feel like maybe for the Lakeland people, you know, let's do an auction one.
The Lakeland people. Dad knows too, man. My mom used to live in Lakeland there for a while.
Lakeland. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Moms used to live in Lakeland.
Who?
And Zach.
We got now we have a person that has Yo as their username with a lot of O. Who are? Where do you listen? Mike used to have a line. I thought, where do you find people that eat this lead paint chips? But like, actually,
yeah, yellow lead paint.
Mike, sometimes I wish the lab had a little extra feature. Like, I would like to see on sleep, like in the sleeper era in Superflex. Like, how many times does this happen? I'm telling you, there's a chance that these were the only two we've ever seen. They happen to be on AMA today.
I think in the era of AI, we're getting to this point. We've floated around what we like to refer to as the fish score, where you can look somebody up and see how big of a fish they are. So if you traded a first,
dude, making a fish score, Mike, it'd be like the pizza review on steroids. The fish score.
The fish score. And
that's a 9.1. This is an ultimate fish. Shakir for a first twice.
Gerard Mayo, first for Keenan Allen.
You had to find a way to ankle grab Gerard Mayo before we got out of here. That was well executed. Pissing the tennis ball, I don't even understand.
It's going to be the only ankles I'm grabbing.
There's one. No. There's one thing I know that ain't true. Michael ankle grab anybody. There was a question. Well, let's get one or two more and let's go. Let's call it. I don't even know. I don't even think I'm
in a tennis ball, not on a tennis ball.
Now, let me ask you: does he actually break open the tennis ball to try to do this? Like, what?
Yeah.
How does this?
Yeah.
Did he just conjure in his mind? I want to piss in this thing. Like, what?
Dad could tell you for sure, but it was a bet or something, which also got him kicked off the bus.
Wait. kicked off
two
the bus.
opposite ends of the spectrum.
Holy shit! There's a lot to this story.
At very ends of the spectrum, I also one time in high school got kicked off the bus and had to walk to school for a while.
We are opening up some serious cans of worms here.
When I got kicked off the bus, somebody was like, "Hey, moon this chick behind us." So, drop the pants and moon them. And that's what got me kicked off the bus. Somebody dared my brother to piss in a tennis ball, which is like a very... What? Why a tennis ball? Why is there a tennis ball on the butt? Like, so many questions, which he did. Very, very different, okay? I'm of the dumbass ilk where I just moon somebody behind me. My brother would piss in a tennis ball. He also pissed in his own eye one time. I was there for that.
Hold on. How do we not lead with that? I mean, the tennis ball is great, but you piss in your own eye?
He pissed in his own eye.
Is this when he's like a baby? It's just like, what are we talking about here?
Probably 4. I'm going to say 4.
Okay, no, that's not what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking
so
like, no.
Like,
okay, what in the fuck?
So, see, you got a small child, so like they don't go to the bathroom on their own yet. I don't know how potty trained Aubrey is at this point yet.
She you know what's crazy? My wife doesn't watch this. Definitely not this far in. So I'm just gonna tell you. She'll sit on the toilet and she thinks she wants to, but I think she's perfectly capable. She always freaks out and gets off.
So my brother's like 4, and he's gonna go to the bathroom. Okay, and I'm the good older brother. I'm in 7th grade.
Based on this story, are we sure you're the good older brother?
Well, I'm in 7th grade at this time, so I'm older. And,
okay.
You're trying to help your brother out.
Yeah.
So my brother's going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I hear this like screaming coming from the bathroom. So of course you run in there, and his little thingy is like pointed straight up. Like there's no like manual push down tuck method going on here like you normally would. You would think. And he's peeing, and he's all he's screaming about is, "I peed in my eye! I peed in my eye!" I don't know what to do. I've never pissed in my own eye. I don't know how to handle this situation.
Things you didn't think were going to happen when you left your 4-year-old brother to go potty. But
I did not assume pissing in your own eye. I did not. So that's where he is. He also wanted my dad at one point to commit mail fraud, which was cool.
Did he do it?
No. My dad is like, no, fuck you.
We were talking about getting kicked off the bus. I was going to see if we could throw someone under the bus real quick too here, but
nope. Nope,
okay,
my dad did not commit mail fraud.
Sean, you're smart. You're a smart man. I love this.
He's not committing mail fraud for my dumbass brother.
I will say this: if you don't know this show or Mike and myself, you'd be like, "What? I've never heard of his brother," and he is just. These stories are just the worst ones. He's just lobbing in at the end here. This is a love language for the Crystal family, just so you know, if you were unsure. But I am loving this for the record.
Yeah, like my dad said, he's an electrical engineer for Boeing.
Listen,
so
it's started from the bottom. Now we hear, that's not Drake. That's I wonder how many people. I wonder how many people. I bet you, Mike. There's a chance. There's less people that have pissed in their eye than traded a first for Khalil Shakir.
There's definitely less people who have pissed in their eye than have been an electrical engineer on fucking airplanes. You might be the only one that crosses.
Now,
on the Venn diagram, my brother is a woman.
Both? Possibly you.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. This...
Shout out, Zach. You never watch.
One of the best.
Thinking of you.
If you're still here, which by the way, we have more viewers than we've had. I almost feel like compelled to keep going. But the best part about AMA is that like it's ask us anything, right? Ask me anything. But a lot of times the questions the questions that don't get asked that we really lean into.
I'm sweating like a whore in church right now. It's amazing,
dude, bro. How have I not known that for the record? That is
well,
and also like, can I just? I feel like I'm speaking for the audience as I feel like I'm a part of it at this point.
You are.
How do we not lead with that over the tennis ball?
Well, again, I'll point to the glass as it gets lower.
I'm asking. I'm kind of asking questions that realistically they make you have one answer that makes it all make sense. Market is hot.
Just know if you come to the expo and you stay at the shit house, you get them all, as Shane Manila can attest to.
Dude, I'm kind of.
I thought I was gonna kill him with how hard he was laughing last year.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of. That's one of. I'm ready to see Shane at the expo. I hope they come through a little bit, man.
Please.
That was, dude. We had a couple like. The Shane Manila, you get that fun character on Trades and Five. Like, I love his, one of the things, at least for him, is like you get to see the real person. But I got to see a little bit more of the real person. Not quite piss in the eye level, but it was like, okay, this dude here is, I like this guy. I like this guy.
I think the only thing we established between me and Shane at the expo last year is because we're like the similar guy, is that we can never do a podcast together, just us two.
Oh,
there
no.
has to be a third one to moderate, because if it's just Shane and I, that fucker's getting canceled within the hour. And we're never allowed back on to do anything ever again.
I've been on a few, not that many, but I've been on a couple, a trade show for sure, where it's just the three of us, and I'm like, how did I become the babysitter here? Like, what happened?
That fine line?
Dude, I'm like, all right, I feel like we need to end this show like 3 trades early. I'm getting nervous for everyone.
Which is so crazy because Alan also takes it to that level. And I just did an hour with him on Sirius XM, and I didn't say fuck one time. I was so proud of myself.
You talk about coherent and, what was the other word you used? I keep drawing a blank on.
Pragmatic.
I mean, I believe that's where Pragmatic Mike was born. Get Mike to get through an hour of talking, even with one other person, no cuss word. That is, honestly, I love you. I would have probably bet the other way, to be honest. And it's nothing against you.
I'm fucking Catholic Church Mike on Sirius XM.
Catholic Church Mike on Sirius XM. I listened back to that on the app. You can go back. You can go back on the app if you have the app and listen to it. That was a nice. You guys killed that one, man. Really good one.
I had a good time with him. Alan's always a good fucking dude, man.
Even when you're not cussing, just a great hour. All right. Last, it doesn't even have to be a question at this point. I feel like most of these aren't questions. We haven't had a real question in fucking
How did we get to Pittsburgh? What's a Pittsburgh?
Like, we're talking about between pissing and the tennis ball, the eye. I mean, I'm not a guy that works for Boeing. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I feel like that's how we got there.
I see 2 comments. An iceberg made of piss. And Pittsburgh.
I'll tell you what, Sean, I will stay. If we can video him in, 4th of July is fucking, I'll never forget the 4th of July if we get him on right now and ask about Pittsburgh. Listen, I'm going to come see you in Seattle soon. I'm just curious if you got a couple minutes here. You're kind of a celebrity in our little following right now. They want to talk to you. They got some questions.
I know I forgot where you live and all, but Mike, you're hot on the YouTubes right now.
Mike, I know I'm kind of kidding, but could you just shoot him a text like, hey?
He's probably like wiring some shit up now, so your
But for the record, I feel like it's actually pragmatic to do it because it's 3 hours different. It's like it's not even late over
on
there.
The West Coast. Yeah, you're probably just finishing dinner. I think I don't know what the time difference.
Dude,
fucking West Coast.
The stars might be aligning. The viewership's going way up, by the way. 169. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is, buddy.
169. Gotta get you on.
Damn it.
Saxon, listen, I see this comment from Saxon. If Saxon's interested on thoughts on Kendrick killing Drake's career, oh my God, Saxon, why aren't you turning into Fizzle Fridays on Friday night?
If you have not heard of it, similar to not hearing much from Drake, you need to trust me on this.
Oh, man.
I don't make a lot of like suggestions like, hey, this is something I'd put my name. If you're into this, I mean, I can't think of a show. I don't watch anything anymore, to be honest with you. I'm kind of boring now, but that's the one for me by a mile.
You a double B, ain't you?
Yeah. Why'd you have to? You're not wrong, okay? I got called old today on the BDG, and I'm like, I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have a counter. I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right.
That's because Andrew's 12.
I thought it was 14.
Whatever.
To be fair, especially when you're 17 or younger.
There he is. Second
no,
fucking here.
Brother.
It wasn't.
This is
Zach, you're a fucking celebrity, bro.
Zachary,
You are a celebrity.
this is going to be. We've had some great AMAs. This is going to be the most memorable fucking episode that I've been a part of. This is insane. And the fact that the viewership's going up and everyone's just so excited that you're here. Zach, listen, I'm not sure what happened in between pissing in your eye and now, but this might be the most people have been excited to see your presence. This is quite electric. By the way,
The Piss King. The Piss King.
Pittsburgh is, I think, here to stay.
The prodigal piss. Oh
Dude,
my
this
god.
is.
A frozen mountain of piss.
So let me. I'm gonna ask Zach. I wish he was like actually. Zach, by the way, if you have a phone or you want to hop on like a celebrity shot, you want to come on, I'll accept this thing right now. I'll give you a link. If you just want to comment in the comments too. Mike gave us a pretty descriptive. Did anything that he didn't do take place where you ended up having this whole debacle? Or
Are you putting negligence on
no,
me?
I'm curious. I just feel like I don't want to say negligence, but just like some things. How does this happen?
How do you pee in your own eye at 4 years old?
Now, Zach, if it's a skill, I mean, this is the shit
Could
show.
be.
People would be interested. I'll tell you. You know,
That's a hell of a name.
dude, Mike, this is amazing. Zachary Crystal, it was a dare, bro. This is fucking epic.
Let's just say if
People are asking about his age. This is Zach. It's not quite Hawk Tua, but this is as close in the smaller circles as it gets. Everyone wants to know everything.
Yeah.
You might need to
You're
delete
about to
your
get one of
socials
the
for a
t-shirt.
little bit. All right. Do it,
Only
Zach.
Fans will be reaching out.
Oh, this might be the goated
The pistol.
Mike. This is Johnny Mac. Has Johnny Mac been silently watching this entire time? For the record, if that's the case, if you're going to only comment once, this is how you do it.
Ask Zach about the firefighter story. Oh shit, I don't even know this one.
Wait a minute, Zach. I was gonna have Mike tell it, but he doesn't know. So
He
you can,
pissed on the
if you
guy's
want to,
head.
listen. You can. Mike and I. Let me tell you a story about your brother and I. We exchanged a lot of typing for a while with our thumbs. And then we were like, listen, let's stop, beating around the bush. Let's just talk this out like men. So if you want to skip to that point a little ahead of when your brother did, feel free. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Dude, wait a minute here.
He's
This
passing
is-
the buck. He's passing the buck. Right.
Peeing in their own eye was our own little. Oh. Okay. Well, classic mix-up.
Zach, Ryan, same thing. One of y'all pissed in your own
saving
fucking eye.
saving pissing Ryan. My only vice was peeing in tennis ball. Now, Grant, I can see though, if you're gonna confuse
apparently-
brothers, it's like, hey, listen, this had to be the same brother, right? Pissing in a tennis ball, piss in your eye.
Right.
It kind of I can get how the math adds up there.
You
Dude,
associate
this
one piss with the next.
The story that it's kind of like telephone in a way, like the way this story's starting to evolve too. Can we get Ryan possibly to
Ryan, where you at?
dude saving pissing Ryan? If we get that in here, I mean.
I'm
By the
interested
way-
in this firefighter one, by the way, because I have no idea
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on in here.
Now that we got that whole confusion, we know who you are, Zach. If you don't mind letting us know about the firefighter story, that would be kind of cool. Dude, if you would have done both, by the way, piss God, I think probably true. You should see. He can put it, Mike. He could put it anywhere. He can put it anywhere he wants to.
These names are gonna make me piss myself.
Dude,
Oh,
the last time Mike was gonna shit himself, but now I think we might actually get him to piss. The giggling, dude. I can tell you're on the verge there. It's
I'm
building.
squeezing
It's
the
building.
head right now. Like I'm squeezing it. You know what I mean? Like
Mike, you know what? A
Kegels.
great way to tie up this story to like really bring it full circle. Do a little piss right now. I mean, right?
just full circle. Just come right back. Are you gonna start playing rain sound effects?
I wasn't going
Waterfalls.
to. I wasn't going to, but I mean, I can make it happen. Is that?
Fuck the monetization. We're playing TLC.
Well, at this point, it's 4th of July. Let them have it. I'm willing to sacrifice. If I would sacrifice the monetization if you pissed yourself on the show. I'm 100 times out of 100.
I'm beginning to think this family is really ingrained in pissing.
To think the shit show would be all pissed and
pissing.
Fine, get Ryan. I'm with Adam, by the way. Adam's on the clock. I'm not, but we're on the same page here. Let's get Ryan in here. Sean, if you can wrangle up, your other son Ryan, I think. I'll be honest. This could be. It's already the GOAT stream, but did you get Ryan on here, Mike?
I don't have a good piss story, Theo. I'm sorry. I got a good shit story from when I was younger.
I mean, I think the shit show wouldn't be opposed. Wait, hold on. I do though, Zach. I appreciate you clarifying that with a lot of woes, but if possible, the firefighter story would be kind of cool. I mean,
Dad aired it out for him. He was playing firefighter on the playground. And
here it is.
The boys had to put him out.
Wait a minute. We're dressing this up like it's not a piss story too.
It is a piss story. Yes. I didn't know this one. I didn't know he liked to hose other children off on the playground.
Well, so I think it's a known thing when you have to get your anus checked, right? That you kind of have like frequent urination typically is a thing. But you also could have a family where that's just the frequent urination thing is it's kind of it's a genetic thing,
It's hereditary. It's a
Dude, I might
family.
piss myself now. Holy shit.
Like it's a checkbox. Does your family enjoy giving golden showers? Check.
Do you feel like you need your prostate checked in your teens?
This is fucking ridiculous.
Mike, by the way, our viewership is going up. I
have no idea. We have a lot of piss fetish.
Mike, I feel like I just realized that the snap shares, all the cool things I talked about, they want to hear this. They want to hear the deep, dark secrets of the crystal bloodline and piss line, too.
Piss line.
Someone needs to call ESPN and get a 30 for 30 going. Saxon has been on the ball.
This is really the game of Porcelain Thrones.
By the way, ESPN, there's been a lot of, shake up with just downhill trend. This could be the revitalization of ESPN right here. You get a Crystal family 30 for 30. No, I think that was Zach. No. That was Ryan.
No.
Dude.
I think this goes on the Ocho though. There's no way this makes the main ESPN channel.
That's true. That's true. But you know what? This could be like an evolution of a new ESPN. Remember when they made ESPN had its own fantasy football show? Matthew Berry had like the crazy puppets and all that. Maybe we get a new. This could be its own new show. Yeah, like we got to get and maybe even get a new channel going.
I think Matthew G called it the Wiz. The Wiz. Listen, the chat is probably the best part.
You don't.
Because they're so fucking good at this.
When pissing, you don't want to see crystals form.
To be fair, I was only 3 at the time. I did what had to be done. When somebody's on fire on the playground, you have to piss to put them out.
You know what, though? Like, that's jellyfish, right? I mean...
Yeah, you got to pee on them with the jellyfish thing, right?
You teach people that young, and now they think, pissing's going to cure stuff, a lot of stuff. So, if you didn't have a different type of hose, use that one. I think, Zach, I'll just tell you this. This fits everything I know about the family, this comment here, too. I love this.
By the way, Zach, surprise, next July I'll be up in Seattle to go on a cruise. So can I stay with you for like...
He was going to stay at a Holiday Inn Express, but he's hoping he can just, kind of couch surf.
How many toilets do you have, I think is the first question. Do you got enough? We have enough.
I think when we figured out one thing, it doesn't matter. You guys piss anywhere. You don't need a fucking toilet.
What's the jellyfish count in Seattle? Is it high?
I mean, yeah, you can definitely get up there. I don't know if you're in good hands. I don't know if you're in good hands. That is definitely debatable.
Like a good neighbor, Zach Crystal's there. Psst.
I mean,
somebody say urine.
Did you know urine's sterile?
It is?
Yeah, that's why I like the jellyfish thing. Like, urine's sterile, actually.
I know Bear Grylls drinks it when he's in the desert. His own.
Yeah, we are really we're trying to cover every nook and cranny of he is okay. Now we're going to R. Kelly level. This is I think we're pushing. I think we're gonna see what YouTube will allow and won't at this point. It feels very much like, dude. I like this though. Here, the Wiz. There was Wiz Khalifa used to be a big thing, but no one ever remember him. Now it's just simply the Wiz. I love that.
The Wizinator. This has devolved so fucking much for when you're like, hey, last question, then we're gonna get out of here.
Well, I actually, you know what's funny? I said last one, and then I was like, well, you know what? There's no question, so just last comment, which turned into, my daughter does this now. Like when I say last one, one more time, because that means that there's one more. 100 times later, like, all right, this is not how this works.
Oh boy.
Did we ever confirm, for the record? I mean, people are asking how old your brother is. Like, did we get any verification of some of these intricate details?
I'm a piece of shit, so I couldn't tell you exactly. He's in his 20s. How about that? Mid-20s. I'm gonna guess 20.
Dude, listen.
3.
T-Rock, you think I don't? Like,
I'm going with 23. Final answer, Zach. Tell me how big of a piece of shit I am.
Wait, 23?
I think he's 23.
All right. Well, I'm trying to think. Math from. Did you say 7 and 4? Right.
7th grade.
Oh, 7th grade. Okay. All right.
So I would have been.
Still 12, might be a little off, but it's
12, 13.
It makes a lot more sense. Let's see. I feel like we're on like a game of Jeopardy. Like, what is 20? I thought you said 23. Now we're getting multiple. We're covering 2 different years. 23 or 24. It's in that range.
I'm trying to think back to when he graduated high school, and
it's
then
kind of like
do the math from there. You know
what I mean?
This
is kind of like. I feel like this is because it's a family that we're not really sure if it is. It's like the carnival or like an amusement park.
Motherfucker, Dad comes in 28.
I feel like we're at an amusement park. Like you got they guess your age, your weight, or your height. I'm gonna guess 23, 24.
It goes, huge piece of shit, 28. Oh, my God.
Hey,
Zach, you don't even know how the fuck old I am.
Now, here's the thing. 5 years now, it is what it is. But
it is what it is.
5 years
You'll be happy that I guessed younger. You'll be real happy.
Now, here's my question. Sean, can you help me with this? How many kids were there within this 5 years?
Yeah, once you ask Dad about his...
Sean, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put the spotlight on you, but
Yeah, you're a dick.
Well, I mean, if you didn't know that, I mean, it took you this long to figure that out. But Sean, the reason I'm actually, believe me, it might be a hot seat for a little bit for you, but the point I'm trying to make here is that now it's like, wait a minute. So not only 5 years off, but it's like there was how many of them?
It was the last. It was the last one. Last one he had.
Okay, 37. Yep.
It's a baby. Motherfucker. He probably Facebooked that.
I actually kind of really hope that 37 is true. That would be electric.
No, he's talking about my age. I said I was putting him on the spot.
That's a great guess.
Yeah, I told you he Facebooked it, so he cheated. He probably texted Dad.
Dude, good for you.
Like,
you put your age on your Facebook? Dude, that's owning it.
Listen, look at this.
I haven't touched my Facebook in so long. I have no idea what it is.
I don't really pay attention to it anymore.
But Zach does, apparently.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, so Dad had 5 kids total.
Okay.
Two are stepkids, for whatever that's worth. So 3. Me, my brother, and my sister. I should say me, my sister, and my brother if you want to do it by age.
Me, my sister, and Irene.
Me, my sister, and the Wizinator.
Dude. I feel like this is
she doesn't have any good piss stories.
Hold on, Mike.
So she doesn't fit in any of this.
Just when
as
you
far
thought,
as I know.
Just when you thought like changing, from fantasy football to how long it would last. Like, I mean, Trip Crown's just getting here, buddy. I mean,
I'm late. Are you pregnant?
No.
It's not mine.
You don't want that late text. that I think I'm late. Thanks.
I think I'm late. Trip Crown. I'm late.
All right. Well, here's what I'll say. Trip Crown, we're getting very close to the end of the show. This is 2 hours and 24 minutes. Trip Crown, I know that's a long time. I normally wouldn't ask that out of you. Like, I respect your time, but I promise you the return on investment for 2 hours and 24 minutes it's
just the last 45 minutes.
It's enough said. I don't need to keep talking on this 2+ hour episode. I think just if you were here for the entirety of it, if you weren't, trust me, reliving it will be just as good.
Here, I'll put you on the spot.
Okay,
Adam.
please. That's fair. I deserve a little bit.
E. Will's comment, I'm the whiz, nobody beats me. Do you know what that's from?
I don't think I do.
Fail.
I know.
The chat knows. Will, obviously.
Hold on now. First, let's just listen.
It's fail.
I want to make sure that I put this out there. If you, especially this year and lately, like I'd say the last 3 months, if you think me letting people down or failing them is a new thing, like we're living in alternate realities. Okay, it seems like that's one of the things I'm good at anymore. That's not much, but letting people down or I'll tell you one thing. The alter ego that people seem to hate, I forget one of the videos recently. You think if you think people give a fuck about BDG Adam, no disrespect.
I did see that comment.
I was like, damn, like that's. It's fine. I don't mind it, but don't put no disrespect at the end. Like that's
no disrespect.
Just own it. Just wear it like a badge.
Adam, that idea ain't worth a picture of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
All right, I'll tell you what. You earned it. That right there, well done. We're gonna put a.
It is not from The Wiz, by the way. So just spoiler alert, it's from Seinfeld. That's where it's from.
Wait a minute. I've seen Seinfeld. The entirety of what episode is that?
So he helps out that guy who runs like the furniture store, and he walks around in Elaine's dating this dude. He walks around in a fucking crown and like a scepter. I'm The Wiz.
Oh, dude, you know what?
The Wiz.
Okay. I didn't. If you gave me the tone, I would have gotten that, but I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that. Okay.
His real name in real life is Zach.
Wait a minute.
He's The Wiz. Nobody beats him.
Maybe after all this time, it was Zach that did both too.
Now K-Box in here, like, what's up, boys? Dude, he has no idea.
This is crazy, Mike. We're at our peak high viewership, and we just get K-Box and Trip Crown in here, and it's like we're leaving. But I don't know what you want from me. I haven't slept since Monday. This is keeping me a little bit alive though. Like I feel not that tired. It's weird,
I feel like I gotta pee.
I feel like. Can I tell you, Mike? I'll give you my piss story. You know what? Fuck it. We ball.
Who'd you pee on?
Well, not just on. Okay, so do you remember those gummy cheeseburgers? They just came out. Like
yeah. I love them fucking things.
This is speaking of dark. Someone put dark comment in here. I think it was Adam actually. It's a kind of a dark thing that I don't like to unveil. But you know what? Fuck it. When in the piss show. So. If you basically dared me to do something back in the day, like, especially if there was enough hype, a couple more people clamoring for it, like, I'm going to end up doing it. So we're at what do you call those? Day off of school, we went to this park called Redwood. So we're there, and we're in the boys' locker room, and there's a kid named Steven Sampson everybody picked on, right? And they're like, you got to piss on this and give it to him. And you get him to eat it. First of all, I don't know why boys even think about that shit. Like,
yeah,
that's an insane thought process. But
idiots.
Well, I'm like, you know what? It is probably impossible, but I'm gonna fucking do it. Fuck it. So he's in the pool, so it's like perfect chance if it's gonna happen because he's wet, right? Like you're not gonna know that it's got piss on it. Dude, but the crazy part is, Mike, I basically was playing along, and then he takes it from me, and he eats it. And it's, it's sixth grade kids, man. You think they're not going to just make the face immediately? And, yeah, let's just say he found out. It was Well, I mean, not that he needed to find out. He ate it in general. It wasn't bad enough. But, yeah, it happened. I pissed on a gummy cheeseburger and got him to eat it.
Did you ever call to apologize to him, like in Billy Madison, where like he's putting the lipstick
Can I tell you?
on?
Can I tell you? You want to talk about being a piece? Can I tell you? You want to talk about being a piece of shit? This is probably one of the worst stories I have of myself. I'll just air it out so you can really, really bury me for your Independence Day, right? Mike, you know what I was doing when I found out that he found out? You know what I'm doing? I'm begging him not to tell.
Oh, just so you don't get in trouble.
I'm trying to save myself still.
No
apology. Well, I did apologize. I was crying, but I'm like, I really wish I wouldn't have done it. I didn't think you'd even eat it, but please don't tell. Like at that point, you're in 6th grade. You're like, if people hear this story, not only are they not gonna believe it, but what's wrong with this kid? But that was probably where I went wrong. I think he was gonna tell anyway. I mean, you find out someone pissed in your gummy cheeseburger, you gotta tell somebody. You know, tattle on far worse things, but I think that was where I went wrong. I'm like, please don't tell. Just don't tell anybody. And just say he told. Son of a bitch, Steven, you told on me. Why? We could have kept it between us. It could have just been between us, you know? Listen, we got people pissing in their own eye, for God's sakes. Get over it, Steven.
T-Rex says you just pissed on the show. That's how bad your story was.
Well, we were getting ready to leave, so I felt like I'd really bury it.
You know for a fact.
Well, like it's like pissing on a fire, right? You piss on the fire at the end to end it. You know.
That's true. You put it out. Speaking of piss,
sorry, I'm not sorry, guys. I wanted at that point.
Call Steven immediately. Find him. Apologize.
You think that guy would want to have anything to do with a conversation with me?
You never know.
Mike, there's true. I talk about ranges of outcomes.
Zach needs to find that kid he pissed on.
I typically like err on the side of there's a lot of different things to play. I could tell you one thing for certain, that it's like a scam call, right? You're not answering. I'm good.
My brother mounted that tennis ball on his wall, on his mantle. He saved it.
Wait, what does that mean? Like,
you should have
just embraced it. I mean, I feel like I did definitely stand on business, but I kind of I regretted the transaction a little bit. All right.
You should have been like Charlie Murphy. Yeah, I peed on your cheeseburger. Gummy.
Listen, it took me a little while to be proud of those things. You know, I'm still not proud of that. It was awful.
Oh my God, Beisha Boba coming in. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Dude, Beisha Boba. Mike, we are fucking... Dude, this is so good. T-Rock, stop. Oh I'm trying to get Beisha Boba. No, I love you, T-Rock, but... Beisha Boba, I feel like right now is working, and I will always think of him working and putting his video.
He's in his work closet peeing right now.
Dude, tell me that's true, Beisha Boba. Give me a confirmation of that as we leave the show. That's all we need. I'm going to give another... all right, guys. I feel like this type of a beat really is a good way to send it out after what took place. You know, that like...
Zach knows it's in a case like a home run ball in his office.
Dude, no.
The tennis ball is gonna live forever.
Listen, no. Hold on. T-Rock, this is where I'm going to tell you. This is like Wolf of Wall Street. Babe, you look great. There's no such thing as bad press. And that's the facts. I'm sticking to it, guys. Love me or hate me, I'll be back next week. I'll be back the following week. We love you. We'll have another piss story some other time. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.